Kiss 92.5 studios in Toronto, Canada.
Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen,
This is Roz and Mocha.
it's Roz and Mocha. What's going on?
Hey guys, this is Bruno
This
Mars.
is Selena Gomez.
Chainsmokers.
Lady Gaga.
Calvin Harris.
Celestia Cara.
This is Ed Sheeran.
You're listening to my boys Roz and Mocha.
Roz and Mocha.
My boys Roz and Mocha.
The Roz and Mocha Show.
Between Roz and Mocha, who is your favorite?
You guys are so funny, man.
Congratulations, Lisa! Wow!
You just won $1,000.
That is amazing. Y'all just made my entire morning. Keep it up.
You guys are awesome, man. This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
It was discovered that if you listen to the Roz and Mocha Show podcast at half speed, it sounds like the conversations that we're having in the room are between a bunch of drunk people. By the way, 3 episodes a week get dropped of the Roz and Mocha Show podcast. If you have not yet subscribed, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, also the Frequency Podcast Network.
Correct.
Well over 300 episodes available for you right now. And we've been getting submissions from people, fans of the show, who said if you listen to this particular part of the podcast, it sounds ridiculous because you guys sound wasted.
Yeah.
So Leslie Sang sent us this from episode 289, where we're talking about that self-cleaning underwear. And we were saying that because David Morey, who's notorious for not changing his undies and wearing his same undies for like 5-6 days in a row and sleeping in them as well, but still putting on fresh clothes every day, which is weird.
Okay.
We were saying that David Morey, like these self-cleaning undies that they're coming out with, David Morey is like the perfect candidate for it.
The story about the self-cleaning underpants and
Show
saying,
these to Morey. Morey needs
show these
these.
to Morey. Morey needs these. Get these for your boy. Like all this stuff. Every different way. I'm not buying you underpants.
Or you could just change your underwear.
Yes,
buy them.
but do you not
and
find
I'll
it?
report back.
But do you not find it like does it not bother you at all that on the day when a story breaks that a company's developed self-cleaning underpants for dirty people who don't change their underpants, and you get tagged in that over your entire vacation, and I get tagged in it over my entire vacation.
To me, I was like, oh my God, that many people love the show.
So again, when you listen to the podcast, the conversations that we're having in half speed, we're wasted. We'll go on to this one. Chris Abbott sent us this from episode 297 of the Roz and Mocha Show podcast, where David Morey is saying that if he were single and if in the Bachelor Nation world, if there were a gay bachelor show, that he would do it.
Oh, wow. Rude.
He'd be on that show, right?
Rude.
Friendly reminder, David Morey, happily married.
Thank you. Damn it,
Sorry.
Morey. Married.
Yeah. Correction.
Family Feud is a good one. I think we all agree on
If
Family Feud.
I was single and there was a gay bachelor, I would do it.
Yeah, wow, geez, that is a lot of qualifying and things that you don't like about your life.
No, but like me and 30 men.
Yeah, you wouldn't do well, though.
No.
They would all be into each other.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's
Your
big
show,
problem.
your show would be called The Spectator. The Watcher. The Watcher.
Winner!
So if you're listening to the podcast,
Oh, God.
again, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, Frequency Podcast Network, and you find a portion where we're talking about something ridiculous, you listen to it at half speed, and you think it sounds even more ridiculous, like a bunch of drunks talking, then feel free to send them in to us. Let us know which episode as well, and your name, so we give you a shout out. just like Chris Abbott and Leslie Sang. Thank you very much for that. But just hit us up, like DM us, and we'll play these on the radio.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Morning.
I was just going to say it was so windy this week, and I had to chase my dog's poop down the street.
Well, excuse me? What do you mean chase it?
Rolled all the way.
What are you feeding the dog?
And I had to chase it with a little baggie
What do you
while
mean
it
it
crouched
rolled?
down. He was going, and as they came out, and then it rolled away.
That's a dry turd.
Yeah, and very light.
Yeah.
What are you feeding him?
Nerf.
Yeah. It's like a Nerf bullet.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when you have him on the leash, you're chasing the poop, and you have to make sure that he's with you.
So hold on a second here. So you have the dog out, Andy Monroe.
Yeah.
Matthew is not with you.
No, it was a morning poop, so I had to take him.
Okay. So early morning.
Yes.
Okay. And so Andy Monroe does his business.
Yeah.
Okay. And it hits the sidewalk.
As soon as it hits, boom, off it goes.
Boom, off it goes.
Never heard that noise before. What sound does Poom make?
Yeah. Pew. And then off it goes.
Off it goes.
Right.
Rolling away.
You know, are you sure that somebody didn't put a turd on a string? Because I've seen this before on YouTube, where somebody puts a $20 bill on a string, right? And then they wait for somebody to come and they pick it up and then they pull it and the person looks like a fool.
Yeah.
Right? Are you
But
sure?
then it's still $20 and you still got to chase it.
Are you sure it was not a turd on a string?
I look like the fool, I guess.
Okay. Wow. So did you catch it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, of course I
Okay.
did.
And then you
disposed of it, absolutely.
Did all the.
I was
did all
proud
the
of him.
things.
It was a good poo.
Is that like the highlight of your weekend or
how
something?
fast you change, huh? When you get a dog. Same thing when you get a kid, really.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
You celebrate those big wins.
You certainly do. Like, I'm always impressed by a huge turd. I'm still impressed by a huge turd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right?
At home. We saw it with our 4-year-old.
Yeah.
Calls us in. Daddy! I'm like, yeah, I did a poo. All right, do you need help wiping your butt? No, but come look.
Yeah, man.
Did you ever think that would become your life?
Never.
Come look.
Never.
Did you ever think that you would be chasing one down the sidewalk?
No.
And then going, I was so proud.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
You didn't watch SNL over the weekend, did you?
No, I watched a bunch of it this morning, yeah.
Rami Malek?
Yeah.
Did you see because the only thing that I saw, which everyone was talking about, at least on my timeline, is the Squid Game parody song that Pete Davidson and Rami Malek did.
The country song.
And it's a country song.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty funny. And the music video for it, if you get a chance, go to the SNL Twitter account. You can see the video there. But maybe green screen, maybe...
God, it's so good, man.
The way they digitally use, like, scenes from
wild.
Squid Game, but then put in Pete Davidson and Rami Malek in there. It's incredible.
Yeah.
It was, like, one of the best I've seen that SNL has done.
Yeah, it looked really good.
Yeah, listen to this.
Don't got a lot of money, drive a rusted out Chevy. I just got laid off, board tab ain't paid off.
My ex-wife hates me, even had to sell my puppy.
Yes, I'm broken, it's a damn shame. Guess I gotta play the Squid Game. Yes, I gotta play the Squid Game. My only option is the Squid Game. Have a number, not a real name, 'cause I'm playing in the Squid Game.
Weird cards, pink guards, locked us in a big room.
They got symbols on their faces like the ones on PlayStations, and the main guy looks like Dr. Doom.
Bunk beds, new friends, piggy bank up in the sky.
There's a robot girl who caught me running, better duck behind the nearest guy. Wait, what?
Yo, this is so good, dude.
It's good, I know.
Broke my cookie and I got eliminated.
Got a crazy girlfriend, thinks she might stab me.
After I was dead, they took my eyeball and my kidney. That's what happens in the Squid Game. People die.
And then they parody the red light, green light scene.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Oh, man, that's a skit from SNL over the weekend, by the way.
Ratings were down this week from last week.
Of course they are, yeah.
With Kim K, because, of course, she pulled in a massive audience, and then ratings
And people
are
were
down
asking
a
before
bit.
she was even booked, like, why Kim Kardashian? And that's the exact reason, because people are going to tune in.
Next
She's the
week
big
is
slut.
Jason Sudeikis.
Yeah.
That
That'll
should
be-
be good.
That'll be real good.
And that's
yeah.
his first time hosting since being a cast member.
That's correct.
Right?
Yeah. But even this past Saturday, Daniel Craig made 2 appearances.
Yeah, I know. And they were kind of
Just whatever.
Yeah, they were
Oh.
fine. Like the Prince skit. So they had Keenan Thompson and Rami Malek dressed as Prince, the
Yeah.
singer, and they were auditioning. Jordan Peele was auditioning people for a new Prince role, and it was down to those two.
Oh.
And then Daniel Craig comes in at the end dressed like a prince and was like, "Am I too late for the audition for the Prince?" You know what I mean? Right?
Stupid.
Like it was stupid. It was stupid. But Rami Malek's good because we were talking whether he could do comedy or not. Because I was like, God, did he ever do comedy? And then I remembered that he was the Pharaoh in King Tut in Night at the Museum all those years
But
ago.
he has such a serious face.
And that's
that
the
even
problem.
Even doing comedy.
Yes.
Like, I feel like I'm being forced to laugh.
Right.
Because if I don't, like, Rami Malek's going to kill me or something.
You have to be such a character if you're going to do that. And I remember collectively when we all figured out that Christopher Walken was actually funny.
Yeah.
Because
That's
for,
awesome.
because for 20 years, Christopher Walken, like nobody, if you wrote a list of all the people who you thought would be funny and great on SNL, Christopher Walken may have been on that list, but he was very close to the
I
bottom.
am a very funny guy.
Yeah, thanks,
Yeah.
Mark. I don't know what that was.
I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. Do Walken again?
This is Christopher Walken.
God, you sound like Christopher dying.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
What advice can you guys give me?
Okay, so my question is,
Got a problem you can't fix?
Roz and Mocha got you.
Victoria, so happy to have you join us on the Roz and Mocha Show. How's it going today?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
We're good. What's going on in your life? Why are you reaching out to us?
Well, the vaccine can really put a wrench in a new relationship, and this new guy that I've been seeing is totally opposed to it.
Oh, wow. Okay, Victoria, yeah, now I get it. You wrote, it says, Roz and Mocha fixed my life. I've had many failed relationships after being divorced for 6 years. I met someone recently by chance, and I'm having a moral dilemma. I'm double vaxxed, but he's strongly against getting the vaccine. I respect everyone's views on this very controversial subject, and respect his decision. However, it very well means that we cannot eat in restaurants together, nor can we travel anytime in the near future, which makes me sad and feel like I'm at a crossroad. I like him a lot, but at this point in my life, I want happiness to enjoy every aspect of spending time together. This is a very new problem to have.
Mm-hmm. How long have you guys been dating?
Not long, only 2 months.
Oh,
but
okay.
He's just a really nice guy, and very romantic. He's gotten me flowers, and prior to this whole having to show your proof of vaccination, we went out a few times, which was really nice, and now it's going to be at a halt because he's very strongly opposed. Yeah.
Why doesn't he want to get vaxxed?
Well, to be honest, he's I guess you could say he's one of those extremists that kind of believe it's not a pandemic, but a plandemic.
So does this come up a lot, though, like in your daily conversation, Victoria, you and him, like talking about vaccine stuff or talking about COVID or talking about what's on the news?
Yeah, he brings it up quite often and how adamant he is against it.
Mm-hmm.
And, how it's a kind of like a joke and why we, Anyways, I've told him before, I don't want to hear it. I said enough is enough. We're not discussing this. It just causes a lot of tension. But it's just something that, to be honest, I'm kind of leaning towards not continuing. But I don't want to be a bad person and think that, I'm being petty at any cost.
I don't think it's petty. When I don't even think that you have to get into his sort of reasoning behind why. I don't think that has to be the reason that you decide to stay or go. I think you nailed it in your letter to us, which is, there are just certain things that we've all been sitting around, we've all been locked up, we've all been locked down. We all are looking forward to sort of doing things. And when you have a brand new relationship, there's things that you want to do. There's things that you enjoy. Maybe you want to go to a movie. Maybe in January you want to go to a restaurant. Maybe you want to do all this stuff or bugger off and go to Mexico when you're allowed to. You want to do all this stuff. You want to do all this stuff because to you, that's what sort of, the living in a relationship, those little adventures, those little moments of fun. And as it is right now, your options with your new guy are sitting at home. And I think that if you don't want to continue this or if you want to hit pause on it, I don't even think that you need to get into the reasons why he doesn't want to get vaccinated. I think you just stick to what the actual truth of the matter is.
Right. Yeah, all those things you said are true, 100%. So, so I just kind of like I said, in my heart, I think I've made the decision already. It's just, I just feel that I don't want to come across as being selfish and, like I said, petty or whatnot. So,
no, but sometimes you deserve to be selfish, right? Because you said you wanted the happiness. You've been, divorced now 6 years, and you're looking for something else, something a little bit more permanent now. I think you're allowed to be selfish, and if this is the call that you want to make, then go for it. I think you already said that you made the decision already. You just needed confirmation from us.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I mean, I've listened to you guys, and you've made a lot of good helped a lot of people with difficult situations, and I respect that.
And just when you do make your decision, don't consider yourself to be selfish because you're not the selfish one here. He is.
Okay, that gives me a little more, but yeah, that I appreciate that. Thanks.
Yeah, and then like send him some pamphlets or something.
Sign him up for a shot.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you have all his info. Go to the Shop Stroke Mart website. Sign him up. Dose one, sir. Ready for you.
Okay, that's a great idea. I'll take that into consideration.
Yeah, all right.
All right, thanks, Victoria.
Okay, thanks, guys. Bye.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life
on Kiss.
So they say, according to a new study, they say a 90-minute, which was what they call a quick power nap. To me, that sounds like a long nap. Really does help the body and mind. Researchers at Northwestern University say napping for just 90 minutes can boost your motor skills and memory. The team finds that sleep can enhance a person's ability to learn challenging motor tasks since it helps the brain process and focus on new skills. After a short sleep study participants were able to perform more quickly and more efficiently than if they did not have that extra rest. Do you nap, Mocha?
I don't.
You do not.
No.
You used to.
I used to. And my nap period was exactly 90 minutes.
Exactly 90 minutes.
What stopped you from having a nap?
I couldn't.
Just life.
Yeah, just life, man.
So when do you nap, Maury?
I nap every day as soon as my husband starts his work Zoom at 11 because I don't want to hear that.
And
So I
so
go to
how
bed.
long do you nap for?
Usually about an hour 15.
So around 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Around 90 minutes. And do you find that when you get up?
I feel like crap when I wake
That's
up.
what I was saying. So how long does it take you before you start sort of feeling, because according to this, you will.
As soon as I finish my after nap chocolate bar, I swear I need sugar and then I'm
Yeah.
okay.
So you go for a nap and then you wake up groggy.
And I have some sugar, sometimes some ginger ale.
You're like a nana. It's like you live in a retirement home. I'm going to take my nap and then I'm going to have my candy and my ginger ale. Right?
And then I'm good to go.
Okay, so
lemon drops.
So you get up. You have your lemon drops. Okay, you have your lemon drops. What chocolate bar do you eat?
Oh, it's the fruit and nut one, the Cadbury fruit and nut.
Okay, so you have your lemon drops, your fruit and nut, and your ginger ale, right?
yeah.
And and how long after a nap does it take you to start feeling normal
When he starts
again?
getting ready for bingo.
Matthew, I need you to open the door on the bathtub.
Yeah, you guys aren't far off from that, huh? No, you know what, though? I will say, taking those naps, those 90-minute naps, like, I felt great, like, after, but I found that 30-minute window after I woke up from the nap.
Yeah.
I did, much like Maury, I just felt groggy. Maybe because I didn't have lemon
I will
drops.
say I feel better after a nap on the couch for some reason.
Yes, sure. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I feel much better if I sleep in the bed. I'm a mess.
Yeah.
but if
That's
it's
a sleep.
thank you. But if it's a couch nap, for sure. And this the problem is this time of year right now is the best weather for napping.
I know.
Like because you open the living room window just a little tiny bit, and you get like a little bit of that breeze comes in. You can put a blanket on. The sun's still out. It's chilly. It's glorious.
You sound like you're staying at the same retirement home as Dave. I was just going to say, roomies.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So people are freaking out over Robert Pattinson and the Batman.
Who's ready for the Batman?
They released another tiny little clip last night because there's an official trailer being released tomorrow at DC Fandome, and everybody's been doing a countdown for that.
Mm-hmm.
And
this is a movie that's just been riddled with problems.
Yeah, and not to mention the problems that the rumor of Robert Pattinson and Matt Reeves hating each other, the director.
Oh, I didn't even hear that.
Yeah. There's that story too that they just didn't get along, and then now people are worried that this maybe isn't franchisable or whatever it is, all that stuff. But the fans right now are freaking out because you got to hear a little bit more clearly in a clip that they released last night of what Robert Pattinson's Batman voice sounds like. So they released a trailer last year where that was the I'm vengeance, where normally the line is some creep says, "Who are you?" or "Who the hell do you think you are?" And then the line always is, "I'm Batman." But our Pats doesn't say I'm Batman. He doesn't do the I'm Batman line. He does the I'm vengeance line.
The hell are you supposed to be?
I'm vengeance.
Okay, so that is all we had really heard up until last night.
Yeah, vengeance after that ass kicking.
Thank you. And then last night, they release, it's just a clip of the bat signal, right?
Mm-hmm.
The thing on the top of the building that the commish uses to call Batman, right? It's the big spotlight with the bat that goes in the sky and everything else. And so you get a little tiny bit more of what Robert Pattinson sounds like. So we'll play it now. I want to get your opinion on this.
Okay. Does he say, "Whoa, that's a bright light"?
No.
"I'm busy."
Close.
I was in the middle of something. Oh, man, not now.
It's not just a signal. It's a warning.
Oh! It's not just a signal, it's a warning?
It's not just a signal, it's a warning.
Let me hear that again.
It's not just a signal. It's a warning.
Okay.
Bad guys, y'all better run.
Okay.
He's going to kick your ass.
So let's compare that now to everybody else who has really done Batman as far as their Batman voice goes. So
That's actually a pretty good voice.
yeah, I don't mind it.
Hold on, let me hear it again.
It's not just a signal. It's a warning.
Great line too.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm into
Great
it.
line.
Yeah.
So I guess we should start with Adam West in 1966.
Oh, God. I can tell you right now, it's not going to stand up.
Let's go. But inconspicuously. Through the window.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
sorry.
not.
Okay, that was.
Ooh, I'm scared.
And then your favorite. Who's your favorite?
Oh, Christian Bale.
Okay, so before we get to Christian Bale, let's do a lot of people's favorites, which is Michael Keaton, who's about to reprise his role as Batman.
Oh, right.
I'm not going to kill you. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to tell all your friends about me.
What are you?
I'm Batman.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. That was a good one. I mean, by comparison.
Val
to
Kilmer from
everything
1995's Batman Forever.
else. Forgot Val Kilmer was
I see without seeing. To me,
not boring.
darkness is as clear as daylight.
No.
What am I?
Please! You're as blind as a bat!
Exactly.
Okay, so that's Val Kilmer.
That just sounds like regular Val Kilmer, I don't think.
George Clooney from Batman and Robin.
Oh, George Clooney would like to forget this.
Why are all the gorgeous ones homicidal maniacs? Is it me?
Enough.
Oh, come on. No.
No. First you're gonna tell me where Freeze is, then you're going to jail.
Okay, so intimidating, right? Sounds like Uncle.
Shut up.
You know what I mean? It's like Uncle Mitch, right?
Shut up, George.
Yeah, you're not my dad.
Yeah, go have another Nespresso.
Okay, then we get to Christian Bale. Very controversial Batman voice for Christian Bale.
Tell me where the trigger is. Then you have my permission to die.
Yeah,
Oh,
very
controversial. I
very
actually
weird.
didn't mind it, though. I
But
didn't mind it.
That is my favorite Batman voice.
Yes. Will Arnett from Lego Batman. We can't forget about Will Arnett.
Batman doesn't do ships.
What?
As in relationships.
Okay.
I would say the most comedic Batman.
Will Arnett's a great Batman. And then finally, Ben Affleck, Dawn of Justice.
We will. We can bring Gotham back. We will. We can bring Gotham back.
Not a bad Batman voice, but so let's go back now to play that new clip of Robert Pattinson.
It's not just a signal. It's a warning.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's in line with like
what we like.
Yeah, with Christian. It's almost like a mix of Christian Bale and Will Arnett.
A little bit. Yeah. No, yeah, right. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You kind of got a little bit of both.
It's not just a signal. It's a warning.
I just hope that when they release the full trailer of the Batman tomorrow at DC Fandome, that we get a little bit more dialogue from Robert Pattinson. And it's not just that part.
Right.
Right? Not just like a bunch of scenes where he's kicking ass, not saying anything.
Yeah.
And then you just get that one line.
Yes. I want to hear how different, because for me, the thing that made Christian Bale great is that his portrayal of Bruce Wayne.
Yes.
To the other Bruce Wayne, to Batman, were so wildly different from each other, even the way that he talked.
Yep.
So I'm curious to see what our Pat sounds like as both Batman and Bruce Wayne. But that's tomorrow.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Oh, here we go. So DC Fandome went down over the weekend. It was like 4 hours long, and they saved all the Batman stuff for last.
Oh, thank God I watched it all on YouTube later.
But it was a pretty cool event, and they get everybody shows up. The Rock showed up, virtually. They just do these things. Jason Momoa was there, James Gunn, John Cena, and then eventually they got to Matt Reeves, Zoe Kravitz, and Robert Pattinson.
Because this was like the real big highlight of Fandome. The one thing that everyone was waiting for. Let me just play this real quick.
Fear is a tool. When that light hits the sky, it's not just a call. It's a warning.
Oh man. Like I know the trailer is just so visual. If you haven't watched it yet, it's so badass. I like it a lot.
So Catwoman and Batman, Catwoman / Selena Kyle, which is Zoe Kravitz. So here, I want you to listen to this. This is Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz. It's clip 10, talking about the Batman.
For some reason, Batman just always stood out. It's one of the major characters of the 20th century, and so many people connect to it on such a deep level and for so many different reasons. The first conversation I had with Matt about it, I just knew there was something radically different from anything we'd seen in Batman movies before. Right from the beginning, there's a desperation to it. He's really working out this rage. All the fights seem very personal.
What's so wonderful about this world is the exploration of the gray area. Catwoman really wants to fight for those who don't have someone else to fight for them. And that's where Batman and her really connect.
He wants to inflict his kind of justice. He's just compelled to do it. There is no other option.
Well, I'm very excited about this.
Because if you watch the trailer, this is the first time Batman's looked really, really angry.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of cool. It's kind of compelling how angry he looks.
So who's the other... The other villains are what? Riddler
and Penguin? Yeah.
Mm.
So I believe Colin Farrell is Penguin.
Yeah.
And, you
Didn't
see him
even
in the
look
trailer.
like him.
No. He's just like a regular, regular dude.
Did a real good job.
So this is Matt Reeves, the director, and Robert Pattinson talking about the screen test and which suit Pattinson actually wound up wearing.
Do you remember your first day, Rob, when you were wearing one of the actual bat suits? When Rob and I first got together, we'd had all those conversations, and then just by virtue of what it is, it's Batman, the studio's like, well, we always do a screen test, which is kind of the same thing you guys did. Rob did first by himself and literally was wearing, I believe, Val Kilmer's bat suit. Yeah.
Wow.
Which, by the way, the moment you put it on, that was kind of a crazy moment.
It was crazy, but I remember putting it on and thinking this is impossible. This is going to be absolutely impossible. I remember you saying because I guess just trying to move, wearing a kind of 2-inch thick rubber suit or latex suit and being incredibly nervous and full of adrenaline the whole time. I remember we did like 2 takes, and when you were just saying, what can we do about this sweat? And I was like,
no.
Nothing. There's nothing that can be done. I have to be drained of liquid.
Oh, that's so gross. Imagine though,
It's
you're
gotta
in
be
that
hot in
suit
there. Yeah.
for hours on hours, filming every day.
Yeah.
And then you add in the action sequences as well, right?
And this is Pattinson talking about the difference between Bruce Wayne and the Batman.
He doesn't have as much control over his personality. Like the delineation between when he's Batman and when he's Bruce is not so clear. I mean, in other kind of iterations of it, he really knows what he's doing when he's putting on the cowl. And I kind of really like this idea. It's a little bit out of control. He hasn't completely defined what Batman is. I mean, it's kind of, he gets lost in it. Whenever he's putting it on every night, and it's kind of, he's not sleeping, and he's becoming this quite sort of odd creature.
It's going to be interesting to see Pattinson playing Bruce Wayne, like maybe a darker version, because typically we see in all the movies Bruce Wayne is like this kind of flamboyant, out there, making up for the fact that he's angry on the inside by personifying this kind of playboyish attitude.
Yeah,
right?
that was one of the things with Christian Bale's. I really loved Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne because he was 2 Bruce Waynes. There's the actual Bruce Wayne, and then there's the Bruce Wayne that he wants everybody to see. And I think that Christian Bale really nailed that. I don't know what they're going to do in this one, because I think that Bruce Wayne and Batman are just both really angry in this movie.
Yeah.
Like all the time. There's
It's
that
very dark. The
very
entire
dark.
The
Oh, my
entire thing,
God.
right?
Yeah, but it looks really cool. So that's March 2nd, 2022 for the Batman.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Sinead?
Hi.
Hey, welcome to Roz and Mocha's Hell of a Story, Sinead.
Thank you.
Okay, so you are calling us from where?
Belfast.
Belfast.
Oh, nice.
All the way from Belfast.
Belfast, Ireland. What
And,
up?
and sometimes for a story like this, we have to go all the way to Belfast to find such a story, which is a hell of a story, by the way. So talk to us before we get into this about your family. So you got kids?
Yeah, so there's the boys who are here is Connell and Stefan.
Your cat's name was what?
Simba cat is called.
And how old was Simba?
So she's 14. We've had her from she was 6 weeks old. Connell got her for his 3rd birthday. He is now 17. So she was very much part of the family, like treated like a princess. We just adore her, actually.
And was Simba like an indoor-outdoor cat?
She would go outdoors, but always comes home at night.
Okay, gotcha.
I have a question for you, Sinead.
Yeah.
So what the hell is the hell of a story? You have an awesome cat that gets along with your kids.
Okay. Yeah, that's part of the story. But what happened? What happened that day when you guys went outside and talk us through the discovery?
Okay, so Simba didn't come home the night previous, and my husband Freddie, he was going to the gym. He seen a little cat very similar to Simba lying knocked down on the bottom of our hill. So he then obviously came home and was like, oh my goodness, I think Simba has been knocked down. We need to go and see. So obviously then we went to go see. I kind of was like, oh my God, it's my Simba.
So wait, so you walk up, there's a cat at the bottom of your hill and it's Simba. And like, was she hit by a car? Did she fall? What happened?
Yeah, squashed, literally squashed by a car.
Squished
Oh!
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to hear this.
Yeah. So
Simba, R.I.P.
Okay, so at this point, do you talk about like when you're going to tell the kids? Like, what are you thinking about in that moment when you find Simba squished by the car?
So in that moment, it was 5:30 a.m. And in that moment, I was going to work. And all I could think about was, oh my God, my cat is like squashed at the bottom of the road, but I also need to get to work. Then was like, we'll get you to work and I'll get the cat brought somewhere until you come back from work and we'll look at it properly and, make sure that it's Simba.
Yeah.
which happened.
And then, so you guys, you and the family get together and decide to have a funeral for Simba?
We were so heartbroken. I told the boys were devastated. We cried. My parents and my sister and my brother live in Scotland. We had told all them. Everybody was heartbroken. We were all so sad.
What did you do? Did you cremate Simba?
Yeah, so we brought her then to the vet to be cremated. And we ordered a headstone off Amazon. We had literally spoke to the wee 5-year-old Stefan, telling him all about the Rainbow Bridge and how it'll have wings and be playing with all the other animals. And then, 10:30 in the evening, Simba rocks up crying at the door for dinner. And we were like, oh my God.
Wait, sorry. Hold on a second. Hold on. So your real cat, your actual Simba, not like ghost Simba. Like the whole family's so devastated. You start seeing ghost Simba. This is real life Simba, your family cat Simba, 14-year-old Simba walks up to the door.
Yeah, and just cries for dinner as if, what's the fuss?
What? Yo, Sinead! But you guys confirmed. How do you not know your own cat? 14-year-old Simba. You confirmed that this next cat was Simba, but meanwhile it's another dead cat?
I know.
So
this is how it got crazy then. We realized then, so once the celebrations then, we're like, oh my God, Simba's home. Told everyone, oh, Simba's home. This is amazing. Realization then set into me, and I was like, oh my God, I've actually cremated someone else's cat.
So what next? Did you find out who that cat belonged to, or was it just like a stray that nobody knows who the owner is?
No, so we then, there's a lost pets and found West Belfast page on Facebook, and I actually mailed them, looking back now, I actually can't even believe it was me. I mailed them listen, my cat went missing. I found this cat. I thought it was my cat. I sent it for cremation, but my cat has arrived at my door. And the lady was like, oh my goodness, you've done a lovely thing, but we'll never know the owner. So then she actually mailed me back, and she's like, actually, this guy has the same kind of cat on the lost page. Why don't you contact him? Which I did. And by this stage then, the vet obviously was closed, and I was able to phone the next morning. The cremation hadn't taken place, and the chip was over. It was little Milo, and we saved the day because the owners were able to get their own little cat cremated. But I still can't believe it was me. And then, bang,
God,
it went around the world, and I am still listening to What's New Pussycat every day. My husband works in a shopping centre, and people walk past him saying meow, and it's crazy.
Wow. So Simba's A-okay, and everybody in the family's happy.
Yeah, everything turned out well in the end.
Oh, well, that is a hell of a story, Sinead. Thank you. That's great.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah,
you're very welcome.
That was a hell of a story, Sinead. Thank you.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
How are you, man?
Yeah, good.
Are you, though?
Yeah, I'm great.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I had chili fries for dinner last night.
Oh, you always make this mistake.
I know, I always do.
Always.
And I ate them too late, too.
Yeah, on a Sunday.
I know.
Why would you do that to yourself?
I don't know. It was a mess. Because I had all the stuff.
Yeah.
And then...
Doesn't mean you had to use it then. Right then and there.
I know.
Okay.
I shouldn't say chili fries. They were more like fries supreme. I used to love... You have to understand, when I grew up, I had no fast food around me, right? Mm-hmm. So when I moved to the city and I was able to go to fast food places, it was like me trying a lot of them for the first time. I don't think I had Burger King until I was 20.
Oh, really?
What about Taco Bell?
So Taco Bell I discovered after that. Taco Bell was the fast food place that I discovered last.
Yeah.
And
very affordable at the time.
Very affordable. Thank you. And I used to go in and get 2 soft tacos and a fry supreme. And fry supreme to me was just one of the greatest inventions of all time.
Is that the one, the ground beef?
So it's fries, right? Melty cheese, ground beef, a little dollop of sour cream, and then green onions, right? And chopped up on top. To me, that was just the greatest meal ever. And it came in that tiny little box, and you just eat it with a plastic little fork and everything else.
Also very affordable.
Right? Very affordable. Too affordable.
Uh-huh.
Too affordable.
Too affordable, very filling.
Right. And so ever since I discovered those, I've just made them on my own. So anytime I'm making taco meat, like for the girls or having tacos or whatever else, I always throw in some fries and I do fry supreme.
And if you eat your tacos over the fries, then any meat that falls out goes back into the fries.
Which was what makes the whole operation brilliant.
Yeah.
Right?
But the problem is that at home is that you have control over the portion.
Thank you. That's the problem. Because when you
it's
go...
a problem and mistake.
Okay, so when you go to Taco Bell, everything has to fit in that tiny little box, okay? And it still tastes delicious. You still feel full afterwards. You feel fulfilled afterwards.
Yeah.
And you're like, I just had one of my favorite things in the world. But when you're at home and there's no rules. So I made last night for myself what would have been, if you put them in those tiny little Taco Bell boxes, 4.5 orders.
Oh, for one sitting?
That was me.
Did you space it out?
What's that?
Did you space it out?
No, all at once. And when I go to the table...
Wait, did you use more than one plate then?
No, just one plate.
One
big,
massive
full dinner plate. And it was probably 3 inches high. It looked like a thing of nachos, but only it was fries.
That's better than what I made.
Thank you. And when I go at it, okay, this is how you know I'm serious. And this is when Catherine looks at me and goes, oh my God. Is when I show up to the table to eat and I bring a fork and a spoon. So I know I'm getting everything because it's not because the fries start to go mushy, and once the fries go mushy, that's when the spoon comes in.
Yeah, you got to scoop everything up.
And so I'm sweating right now, like still from the fries supreme. I like.
How long did it take for you to eat the whole plate?
Oh, what? Too long.
Yeah.
Like everything was cold.
Is there any left in the fridge?
No, in the fridge. You don't save that, man. You get that out of your life.
Yeah,
You
that's a sit down one and done meal,
anything
man.
left on that plate, you cannot put in Tupperware.
So what time was this that you ate?
9:20.
Oh my God.
Are you?
Yes.
I was in REM sleep at 9:20.
9:20.
We ate dinner at 4.
4?
How long did it take for you to finish that meal?
Oh, like probably 20 minutes. Like
Okay.
20 minutes.
Okay, so we go 9 till, or sorry,
9:20.
9:20
Yeah.
is when you started, or 9 o'clock? No, 9 to 9:20.
9:20 was when I started.
Okay, so 9:20,
Yeah.
meal is over.
Yes.
How quickly did you fall asleep on the couch?
Oh, within, I would say realistically, I missed the end of Succession, and Succession finished at 10. So I'm guessing
yeah.
I ate from 9:20 until about 9:35, 9:40. I was gone by 9:45.
Oh, of course you were.
Why'd you eat so fast?
Right?
What do you mean?
Gone.
How'd you fall asleep so
Gone.
fast?
I
My
was
gas.
asleep. I was asleep. Yeah. I don't even remember going to bed, but I remember what my burp smelled on my way in.
Oh no, gross.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
You always hear these stories of actors who audition for roles, and just your brain can't help but go to how different those movies or shows would have been had they got the part.
Mm-hmm.
And David Duchovny from X-Files and Californication. Did you ever watch Californication?
Never.
No? It was such a good show.
HBO, right?
Yeah, Showtime, I think. One of the two.
Showtime,
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. But the first, it got a little muddy in the middle, and then it picked up again later. It was one of those shows where it went on a little too long.
How many seasons did they do?
I think they did like 4 or 5.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
But definitely seasons 1 and seasons 2 were just awesome. Like they're so good. It's such a good character. I mean, he was a mess and not particularly nice.
Yeah.
But it was just a very cool show. But Duchovny was on with Ellen talking about
Sopranos.
No.
You tried out for Sopranos, I bet.
Way better. So we'll hear from David Duchovny, and then we'll come back and talk about how different this show would have been had he got one of these roles.
This is very interesting to me because people think, when we're successful, that we've always been successful. But the amount of things that you auditioned for and tried out that you did not get, you tried out for every male character of Full House.
True. Yeah, I tried out for Full House for I think all 3 of them and the little girls.
Shut up.
And they kept, it was my first time out in LA, and they brought me out for different shows, and I ended up with the Full House stuff, and they just kept on trying to plug me into different characters, and clearly I was wrong for every single one.
No.
Yeah.
The only character I could see David Duchovny playing, if he were to land a role on Full House,
right,
would have been Danny Tanner.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you.
I don't think he's jokey enough to be Uncle Joey. I don't think he's, no disrespect, but I don't think he's cool enough to be Uncle Jesse.
Right. So what about this? What about Emily Blunt as Black Widow?
Emily Blunt?
Yeah. But remember, though, Emily Blunt was incredible in Edge of Tomorrow. Did you ever see Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt?
No.
Bro,
Is that a time travel one or
how have
something?
you not seen... Edge of Tomorrow is one of my favorite sci-fi movies.
Is it really?
Over the last, I would say, 10 years.
Is that Tom Cruise, he dies all the time, right?
Yeah. Okay, so Emily Blunt as... Because I think it was a scheduling conflict that prevented her from doing it.
You know what? I could see her as Black Widow.
Right. Really, huh?
Yeah.
Forrest Gump.
Oh, man. We got to do this to me, Jen.
Okay, so we all know that Tom Hanks, that's like a legendary role for Tom Hanks. Like an absolutely legendary role. It was originally, apparently,
Don't ruin Forrest Gump for me, please.
Apparently, it was originally offered to John Travolta.
Okay, but I could see John Travolta playing that role.
No, you couldn't.
I absolutely
Could you?
can.
Really?
Yes. I could see John Travolta playing Forrest Gump.
Gwyneth Paltrow auditioned for Rose in Titanic.
No,
you couldn't. That's not something you could see, huh?
No.
God, there's so many of these just great stories of people who didn't get the job. Anne Hathaway auditioned for Knocked Up. Did you ever see Knocked Up? That's
I
the
did.
Seth Rogen. Yeah, it was fine.
It was all right, whatever.
It was a fine movie. I think that went to Katherine Heigl, and that ruined one of the things that ruined her career, right? Because I remember I interviewed them for that movie, and then she did the press in that movie and started trashing the movie while doing press for that movie.
Did she really? Why?
Yeah, she didn't like it. She didn't like the way her character was portrayed or written. Like
She's
she
not a nice
shot the movie.
Is she a nice person in real life? She doesn't seem like it.
Listen, who am I to say, right? You just hear stories.
Yeah.
But I remember she tried to sync the movie while doing press for the movie because I guess she saw the movie and then didn't like the way that it turned out or her character or she had second thoughts or whatever it was. But it was very, very early on in the promotion of the movie where she started trashing the movie.
Oh,
yeah.
dang.
And then, of course, the most famous was Eric Stoltz and Back to the Future, right?
Yeah, she called it a little sexist.
Yeah.
That's what she called the movie. And then Seth Rogen said that he felt a little bit betrayed by those comments.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Oh,
Yeah, it was a betrayal.
Wow.
A
So that could
betrayal.
have gone to Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah. No.
What'd you say?
I don't know.
You just had.
I know.
Said Anne Hathaway.
Thank you.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I got to play this for you real quick. Former Toronto Raptor and current Chicago Bull DeMar DeRozan was talking to Draymond Green. Draymond Green who plays for Golden State. Draymond Green, by the way, the identical twin of Shem, who works here on the Roz and Mocha Show.
Yeah, really?
Looks
huh?
exactly like Shem.
Yeah?
It's crazy. If you see a side by side, twinsies. So Draymond has a YouTube show called Chips through Bleacher Report. And there's two things that people are talking about. When DeMar DeRozan, who's from Compton, California, first arrived in Toronto to play for the Raptors, his very first time touching Canadian soil, the culture shock had set in. Listen to this. This is DeMar DeRozan.
I didn't have a passport. I didn't have none of this. Threw me off. Like, damn, nobody I know has a passport. I remember going up there by myself that next morning, go to Toronto. I'm seeing in the airport in French. Like, I'm like losing it. You know what I mean? You know how it is.
Yeah.
They're like, they go to like the whole culture shock all over again. You know what I mean? And this time around, it's somewhere where I can't just go home. You know what I mean? I didn't have nobody with me. I was by myself. I remember, bro, I was still wearing Chucks in the wintertime. I didn't know how to dress.
Never
you know what I
been
mean?
to the cold.
I never been to the cold. Nobody there to really teach me. I'm the only rookie on the team, so it ain't like I got somebody I can hang with. It was a shock.
What's so interesting about that is most people don't understand. They hear you saying, like, I got drafted to Toronto, but at that time, 13 years ago, Toronto's not what it is today.
No. Yeah.
So you walking through the airport, there's French signs on the highway. It's like, it's very Americanized now today.
Yes.
But at that time,
it was tough, bro. I ain't gonna lie. It was the toughest time that was necessary for me.
So DeMar DeRozan.
I don't know what he's going on about. Toronto was a different place 13 years ago. Please.
With the French signs, DeMar DeRozan sitting down with Draymond Green from the Golden State Warriors for his YouTube show called Chips. And he tells a story of when he found out that he was being traded to San Antonio.
Okay.
Listen to this.
We all met. We had a f***ing dinner, have a sit down and have a conversation about like, all right, we about to do this thing. We about to give it one more shot, blah, blah, blah. And 2 days later, you get a call. That was the that hurt. Like, tell me beforehand, like, look, it's a possibility. We think about doing this. Cool. You know what I mean?
And your call come from who?
Masai.
He tell you traded?
Yeah, he calls me. So, one, I'm in the movie theaters. To this day, I do not watch this movie, right?
What's the movie?
Equalizer 2. My phone keep ringing. It's Masai. So I'm like, what the f***? So he texts me and said, Debo, give me a call when you get a chance. So I'm like, all right, cool. So as soon as I send the text back, I get on the gram. Like, all right, I don't see nothing on the gram. I'm on Twitter. I'm Googling shit. So I'm like, all right, I don't see, like, it's just in my mind. So I leave the movie theater. I get in the car, call him back. He didn't answer. I'm like, all right, probably ain't nothing. He called me back. He just, asked how was the movie. Like some casual shit, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm like, the movie was cool, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, what's up? She was like, yeah. We just traded you to San Antonio. I just want to let you know it's going to come out in the morning. And I was like, literally, bro, I touched the driver. I said, stop the car. I got out the car and just walked down the street, hung up the phone, sat outside, a Jack in the Box or a Del Taco for like 2 hours. That's what I got.
Wow.
That's sad, man.
Wow. Yeah.
Go to watch Equalizer 2, find out you're not part of the team no more.
Like it says, I don't watch that movie anymore.
Yeah, it affected him. That's former Toronto Raptor DeMar DeRozan.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Came across this list of people, things people pretend to like. It's sort of interesting.
Okay.
The one that really stands out that I'll get your opinion on now, and anybody who is listening, is other people's kids.
Oh, that should be number one.
That's the one standout.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Other people's kids.
Yeah.
Now, I thought about that, and I'm like, absolutely, I don't like other people's kids. But then I thought about it for a second, and I'm like, I'm more disinterested in strangers' kids.
Sure.
I've liked some people's kids that I know, right? You know what I mean? Like, I don't dislike all other people's kids. Some kids are funny.
Oh, is that what it means, though? Like, that means...
Things that you pretend to like but actually don't.
Oh,
I think it's when you go and meet the new baby and you're like, oh my God, it's so cute.
Yeah, no, bring it to me when it's 5.
Wow. So I still got another year with my son.
Yeah, come on now.
Awkward. No, I thought so for friends of mine who I've known forever.
Yeah.
And like I've been in that kid's life for a long time.
Sure.
This does not apply.
Right.
Like if it's other people who I don't really know.
So let me go through some of these other things that people tend to pretend to like.
Mm-hmm. Is a new outfit on there?
Company Christmas parties.
Oh, yeah, worse.
That's forced fun.
TV shows like The Masked Singer and The Voice.
Never watch a full episode of either.
But why pretend? Why not just say I don't like it?
Vacationing with extended family.
Won't do it.
Yeah.
Running.
I don't mind running.
You'd really, huh?
Yeah.
Oof, I hate it. Nothing worse.
Yeah.
Nothing
The
worse.
only worse is running in the same spot on a treadmill.
The injected lip trend, small talk is on there. I quite enjoy small talk. Going to church on Sunday.
Look at the look on Shump's face right now.
Come on, man.
What?
I love that.
I'm not saying you don't, but what I'm saying is people pretend to like it.
Yeah, they need church.
Is that the solution?
Good one, Chef.
I think water should be on there.
People pretend to drink. People pretend to like water. Yeah, you're right. You're right. A lot of people. What?
I have a full thing of water here.
Yeah.
But do you actually like it?
Yeah.
You do, huh?
I drink a ton of water.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't
I think
drink
people
any
feel they
glass of
have
water.
to drink water.
Catherine always walks into the living room with a glass of water for me because she's monitoring my water intake.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I
What
don't
do you do
drink.
with
I
that
don't
water?
drink water. I'll drink it if I have water, right? But I don't go looking for water.
Uh-huh.
right?
What do you mean if you have water? Like you're somewhere where there's water, like is right there?
Like if I get something like to eat and I'll get a bottle of water, right? Or something like that. Like if I have water, I have water.
But you wouldn't walk into the kitchen independently and just grab a glass of water. Like fill up your own glass of water.
I've never once been sitting somewhere and got up specifically to
Why
get a
does
glass
she
of
care if
water.
you're drinking water?
Because you have to hydrate and all this other
Yeah,
stuff.
but you're drinking Supreme, or you're eating Supreme fries on
I
a
know, but
Sunday.
listen, she's like it's all about the water intake, right?
of
And
course.
and when I do get it, I chug the whole thing back and then slam the glass down on the counter
You're
like
also
I'm drinking.
not supposed to do that.
Like I'm drinking in protest, right? Because to me,
fine here.
Yeah, watch. Yeah, you want to see it? Watch.
No, but that's a tricky move.
I know.
Because if you do that, then she'll be like, "Oh, he loved the water," and then
Yeah.
she's gonna go and refill that glass again, right?
Add to your list neighbors.
Neighbors is on the list. People pretend to like their neighbors.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Do you like your neighbors?
I do, No.
You
yeah.
do. Yeah, I'm like Maury.
My neighbor called the security on us.
On you for what?
Because our dog was barking.
Oh.
At 1 p.m.
Oh.
And she
Yeah.
called security.
Yeah, shut that dog up, man. Too
Yeah,
loud.
and yeah, I'm gonna say other people's dogs too should be on this list. Things that people pretend to like.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I have to. I'm gonna have to get out of my flip flops at some point.
What is the latest? Because you start
When
wearing
it snows.
flip flops.
When
Oh
it snows.
wow.
Yeah,
So you
so-
can go like legit until like December if
Yeah,
it decides to
yeah.
not snow till then.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is recent with me because I was always like a cool shoe guy, right? I loved all my cool shoes. I had like shoes that had these crazy points on them. And I used to get like all the Varvatos editions of Converse and everything. Like I used to be like a cool shoe guy and I used to really love it.
Is it because it's too strenuous now to bend over to like put your shoes on?
No, it's actually easy. They're all slip-ons, nothing
Oh.
with laces.
Okay.
All my shoes are slip-ons.
When do you think the last time was that you had to like bend over and tie or get your foot inside of a shoe?
Well, I have a shoehorn for some of the tighter ones, right?
Wow.
What?
Tight pants and even tight shoes, huh?
Yeah,
That's
but
so
I don't even wear tight
uncomfortable?
pants anymore. Nah, I'm sort of over it all. I'm over tight things. Yeah, it's. I mean, I still do. Don't get me wrong. I still do. Like, I still enjoy it. But I'm just not like, and I don't know. And it wasn't COVID because it started to happen right before COVID, where I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I went from wearing, exclusively like very expensive, not that I paid for them, very expensive, super fancy pointed, kick-ass shoes to wearing $6 Walmart flip-flops every single day of my life.
Fam, let me tell you though.
Yeah.
Those Walmart flip-flops?
Right.
Underrated.
Here, this is what they
The Walmart flip-flop,
These are
if
the
you
ones
don't
here.
have a set of these
those
Walmart.
those are the ones here.
The rubber ones?
Right, yeah.
Yo,
I
have.
I buy a new pair every year.
Samesies.
Every summer. Because I destroy it. It takes me a full year to destroy them.
Samesies.
Yeah.
Wow. It took one afternoon for a new dog to destroy mine.
Oh, yeah.
And the ones that I had, I've had for like years.
Yeah.
They last.
Oh, no, I have 4 pairs sitting by the front door.
Do you really?
Yeah, I have all, and they all have holes up to the bottom and everything else.
Underrated.
Yeah, they are, Maury.
Do you know you mentioned shoehorn, and I tried using a shoehorn. I can't do it.
Why can't you do it?
I tried putting it. I can't.
Do you know where the shoehorn goes?
Yeah, there was a lady that walked me through it, and even she was
Walked
like,
you through it?
She was like,
You
okay,
took a
here's what you
course on
do.
shoehorning?
Yeah, and she's like, yo, no one's ever not been able to do this. She's like,
Oh.
okay, let's try again. I couldn't do it.
Have you seen that thing that's like a shoehorn, but it's for your socks? Where you put your sock around the end of this like plastic mold?
Stop it.
Yeah, and then you put your foot in it, and then you pull the mold out, and as you pull the mold back, it puts your sock on for you?
Get
Yeah, I'm not even joking.
So it replaces your hands.
Yes.
As it should. You know how hard it is to put socks on?
Basically.
Shouldn't be that hard, though, more.
That's what she said.
Also, I have no idea because I haven't worn socks in about 2.5 years.
Even in your winter boots. So when the first snow falls and then we get into the winter months, you won't wear socks inside of your boots?
No.
Really?
No, not really. Not really. I'll wear socks every now and then, but I'm not a fan.
What if they get wet?
What get wet?
Your feet.
Well, my feet are going to then I won't have wet socks to deal with. Right? All you losers walking around with soakers. But yeah, no, so I'm just wondering when it's going to snow because you hear all these stories throughout the year of like whether the winter's going to be bad or it's not going to be
Almanac
bad.
said it's going to be a bad winter.
Exactly.
Always
This
a
is
bad
as soon as you start talking about snow, somebody starts like quoting the Farmer's Almanac.
Yeah, it's
always the Farmer's Almanac. But I don't know. But I'm gonna keep going with the flip flops for as long as I can.
As late as possible,
yeah.
right?
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hello, Sydney.
Oh, yeah. Getting ready for that new Scream movie in January.
Yeah, I'm still on the fence about it.
Why?
Because I want it to be funny. Scream was just so wonderfully self-aware and had great jokes and comedic moments in it. It was still a great horror movie, slasher film, but it had that thing that just made it so unique. And then when I watched the new trailer, there wasn't one single joke in it. Like there wasn't even anything kind of like a little bit ironic or anything. So I'm still on the fence about it. I'm very interested because I like that original cast is back, everything else. But I guess in order to promote this, they've partnered up with TikTok, and they've made the voice, Ghostface voice, available to you to use as the text-to-speech on
instead
TikTok
of
videos.
the female voice.
Yeah.
The one that sounds like this.
Yeah. Yes.
Sounds exact, right, guys?
Yeah. Yeah. Then this happened.
Yeah. This is what happens when you show up to work late.
Yeah. Slap your dog on the bum and show what happens.
That feeling in the morning when you wake up hungover.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Show me you grew up in a trailer without showing me. Or whatever the hell those things are. I don't know. Tell me, I guess. I don't know. But so
tell me you're Canadian without telling me you're Canadian.
Right, yes. Okay, enough of that nonsense. So this is Drew Barrymore, because Drew Barrymore in the original Scream, if you remember, she died like within the first couple minutes, right?
Spoiler alert.
Horrifically. Oh my God, that's like a 30-year-old movie.
Still, just in case anyone hadn't watched it for the first
That
time
is
yet.
not my problem. That is not my problem. So Drew Barrymore made the announcement, I guess, on her show with a TikTok video. And so the voice you'll hear, the Scream voice you'll hear, is the actual voice from TikTok.
Hello, Drew Barrymore.
Hello?
Oh, Drew, it's not the 90s anymore. Put the landline away. I'm in your TikTok.
Oh, Ghostface. You know what? I'm dating a football player, and he's really big, and he's gonna make a TikTok to kick your TikTok.
I saw your interview with Vanessa Hudgens. I know that you aren't dating right now.
Oh, well, thank you for watching the show.
Of course, it's the best of daytime. I'm glad that I checked my local listings, but I'm still going to haunt your TikTok. Quick cue, do you know if David Arquette is on TikTok?
No, I think he actually is.
And just in case you're wondering, because I know that sounds like overly produced, but Maury did one for us with the Ghostface voice, and it actually sounds like really good.
Mocha, is the studio door locked? I haven't forgotten about you and Roz. Do you like scary movies, Mocha?
Right?
Wow.
It's not bad.
And is that the original voice
Is it the guy, or is
the
it just
movie?
a sound-alike?
Yeah.
It's the
Do you
real
like
dude?
scary movies, Mocha?
Why does he say my name weird, though? It's almost like he says Moke.
Moke.
Do you like scary movies, Mocha?
Oh, Moke.
Do you like scary movies, Mocha? Do you like scary movies, Mocha?
And he really puts some testosterone on the end of my name when he says it.
Mocha, is the studio door locked? I haven't forgotten about you and Roz. I haven't forgotten about you and Roz. Do you like scary movies, Mocha?
Like scary movie.
Roz and Moke.
Yeah.
Roz and Moke.
This is what happens when a weird voice says your name.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Oh, yeah. So Bachelorette last night.
Episode 1 for all these shows. For me, at least. Maybe because I go to bed so early.
They're overwhelming.
It's very overwhelming. It just takes so long to get to the main part of the show that I'm interested in. But I understand you have to give context to who some of these guys are and where they're from, what they do, and blah, blah.
So Clayton, who's on the show, is already rumored to be the next Bachelor. So keep your eye on him. But I want to talk about Ryan right now. So Ryan is a guy from, I don't know, like San Jose, like somewhere in California, something like that. And
Ice cream guy from last night.
And Tayshia and Caitlin are both still the sort of pseudo hosts on this season of the show.
The mentors.
Thank you, the mentors. That's what I was looking for. And they wanted to go looking around some of the guys' rooms in some of their luggage to see what they brought. And they find this guy, Ryan, the ice cream guy, and they go through his stuff. And listen to this, because what they found in his stuff was he had all sorts of research that he had done before he went on the show about how to, like, get more screen time and how to act like other. Yeah.
No.
So listen to this clip. This is Tasha and Caitlin going through Ryan's things.
We're actually going to inspect a little bit.
Oh, so you're going to make fun of my stuff. Okay, go to town.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Oh, okay.
There's nothing in anywhere, so go. So,
Bye. I feel good about this. I think he's a great guy. Yeah.
I don't even want to know what they're going to see.
Oh, Caitlin, what is this?
He has everything written out to a T. Research on how to actually get more screen time, past cast members, who he should try to act like, how to get a good edit. Make it seem like you're super interested. It was actually kind of uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't like it.
Oh my God.
But is that so wrong, though?
But he's like
I didn't
really
think
playing the game.
Honestly, watching last night, I didn't think this was an issue. I thought he did his homework.
Yeah, like
Wow.
is that so wrong? I guess it does seem a little disingenuous, but it doesn't seem like super wrong to me. So here is number 9, Mocha. Here is Tasha and Caitlin telling Michelle about Ryan's research.
So the other day, we went in and popped in on some of the guys, like I told you.
Yeah.
And we found a document that one of the guys had and had a lot of things about how to act around you, about how not to be a quote-unquote villain.
He obviously did some research into teachers, and verbatim what he had written down was, so make it seem like you're super interested in that stuff.
Oh, damn.
Is it somebody that I've already spoken to? So it's Ryan. Ice Cream Ryan. Yeah.
Oh, yo. Snitched on episode 1.
Right?
Holy.
So which one should we go to next, Ryan? The one where they're in his room or the one where she talks
Confronts
about
him.
red
Just go to the
flags?
confronting. Just go to the confronting him.
Which one's that?
The last one.
The last one. So give me 12.
Okay.
This is when Michelle.
Bachelorette Michelle.
Talks about finding the notes with Ryan.
This night really started off on a great note, and fully get that there's going to be bumps in a relationship.
Of course.
But I am not okay with starting a relationship on red flags. And
Just give me one chance to make it up to you.
you'll need to respect that I'm going to choose to listen to my red flags.
Oh.
And so, unfortunately, I will be walking you out.
Oh, no.
Is there any way I can change your mind?
Again, my decision is made. Okay. And so I am going to have to walk you out.
That's fine.
Oh, no. Nowhere in the documents did it say how to come back from that. Oh, no.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I don't know what I would do in this situation. This story out of West Vancouver. This happened on Monday. A 13-year-old, his name's Hunter, and he's on his way to school. And he comes across a pack of 4 coyotes who then look in his direction. They notice that he's standing there. And he's by himself, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I would just freeze. I don't know what I would do. Or I would, thinking about it now that I've had time to think about it, I don't know what you do like in the moment, but I think I would just maybe try to walk away, walk in a different direction, but try to keep my eye on the pack of coyotes and just hope that they don't follow me.
Right.
So he's 13 years old, and he comes across a pack of 4 coyotes who notice him. Listen to him tell the story about what happens next. He tells City News. This is in West Vancouver.
4 coyotes, all full grown, and then I saw a 5th one go around, circle the whole pack, and start walking towards me, and the pack followed that coyote. I think that was probably the actually scariest moment of my life.
How old is he?
13 years old.
Of course that's the scariest moment of your life.
So then he starts running, and one of the coyotes, the leader of that pack that he said was like kind of circled the others and then led. So 13-year-old Hunter is running home. He gets home 5 minutes after he left, right? And he's running, and this other coyote, the leader of the pack, is like just chasing him, but lightly jogging.
You got to outrun a coyote.
And he's got to outrun the coyote. He makes it home, runs inside, And this is what his mother says.
At first he said there was a coyote on the street, and I was just about to tell him that's really not a big deal. You could have just walked past it. You would have been fine. When he managed to sort of gasp out that there were actually 5 of them, and they had followed him. And honestly, it was terrifying.
Oh, my God.
Could you imagine?
There's actually signs down in the parks here and stuff like that that tell you what to do. You're supposed to, you don't run away. You're supposed to yell at them.
Yeah.
And they get scared. Because
Hey,
there's a coyote
I
problem.
thought that was bears.
No,
I thought you were supposed to yell at bears.
No, you're supposed to make loud noises at the coyotes. You don't run because then they think that they're supposed to chase you. You're supposed to yell at them.
Yeah, coyotes are
And yell
awful.
what?
Yeah, coyotes are awful. Like if you
Hey, coyote!
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Hey,
not food.
Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. There's
Let me pass.
if you're in Los Angeles, there are signs everywhere for like missing dogs and missing everything else.
Oh, no.
Right? Because they just get out and the coyotes get them because dogs don't know. They walk up to a coyote, they're like, "Oh my God, look at you, another dog." Right?
Well,
they
we
look the
practiced,
exact same.
Matthew and I, we practiced all the time because, like, our dog. So Matthew would lift up Andy, and then we would be like, "Hey, go away!"
Where do you think you're going to run into a coyote?
You live downtown.
No,
in
but
a
we go to Hyde
condo,
Park. There's coyotes there,
and you're surrounded. You're surrounded by nothing but condos.
My dad had coyotes in his backyard.
He lives an hour outside of the city.
But if we're there, we have to have a plan.
That dog's dead. You and Matthew are so over that fence so fast, right?
Fast.
So fast.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I had the window open last night so I could sit with a blanket.
Huh?
I had the window open so I'd let all the cold air in so I could sit on the couch under a blanket. Like I got the place like just chilly because that's how I wanted
But then
to
you
hang
cover
out.
yourself in a big blanket.
Yeah.
Huh.
Because I love the feeling of being on the couch where you need a blanket. Like I love the feeling of being on the couch where
Sure,
you
I
put a
get
blanket
that.
on and you're like, oh, that feels so good. And because the house is so hot because I was cooking all day yesterday.
Do you open the windows when you cook?
Sometimes, yeah, depending. Catherine always asks me to open the window because she thinks everything that I cook is spitting grease all over the place.
Yeah.
Which she may not be wrong. But so
You say she may not be wrong?
So I get
Okay.
this is what always happens is I'll be in the kitchen cooking something delicious. Is she listening right now? Probably. I'll be in the kitchen cooking something delicious, right?
Yeah.
Like the smell will be so great. Like so great. And I'm so like just pumped and proud, ready for my family to like eat it and just all this stuff. And then I look over and Rox is always like, oh my God, that smells good. And then I look over at Catherine and she goes, can you hit the fan? Right?
Get the smell out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I never get that. She eats it and it's delicious and she loves my food and everything else. But
It still gets in your hair, gets in your clothes.
Yeah, but I wear aprons though, right? I'm an apron guy.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah. You don't do aprons?
No.
Really? I love aprons. I'm only apron now.
I think
only apron.
Last year.
You gave me an apron.
I gave you an apron.
Yeah,
right?
I wear it all the time.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Have you ever cooked naked with just the apron?
No.
Oh, that's a thing on TikTok.
No, what, cooking naked with an apron?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have that body though. Nobody wants
but the
to.
apron covers it.
No, you know when you peel a banana and it's all rotten on the inside? That's me in an apron, right?
no,
like,
buddy.
yeah.
What,
Like,
bruised?
yeah, just like it's
Why is it bruised
no,
up?
it's disappointing. No, I'm just saying it's just disappointing,
Yeah.
right? It's a bit of a heartbreaker. Like I know
Are
that
you fishing for compliments?
I know that in your head you might be like, I wonder what Roz would look like in
Every day.
in just an apron, right? I'm telling you, it's disappointing. Like when you peel a banana you think is edible
Have
and then you
you-
open it and it's all brown on the inside.
Why wouldn't you let us
tried it,
think
though?
it was nice?
Nah, because it's
Have you
not.
tried it? Like maybe just like by yourself in the bathroom. Have you tried it?
Tried
Just to
what?
See what it looks like.
Just to put an apron on?
Yeah.
Right? My apron is like a thick canvas, right? Okay. And I don't know if I want things
Does
rubbing
the apron
on
go all the way down?
and I don't know if I want things
yeah.
rubbing on the back of the thick canvas. Like I
it would irritate.
yeah.
Like your nipples would get irritated.
Yeah. I have one apron that goes all the way down. What do you mean all the way down?
Like how far down does it go on your body, or do things like does it cover everything?
Well, it's not like what kind of apron do you think I wear? Like a vest?
It's
Like
a
you think I
blouse.
go like yeah. Like it's an apron. It's apron length. I don't
He's
know.
not wearing a bib.
Yeah, like it's apron length. Like do you think I put something around my head and it only comes to my waist? Like I'm at Red Lobster?
It's like wishful thinking over here.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
What advice can you guys give me?
Okay, so my question is,
Got a problem you can't fix.
Roz and Mocha got you.
Hello, Jim. How are you? It's Ron Zamoka.
I'm okay. How are you guys?
Good. So we know that you're stressed. We know you're got some feelings going in.
My friends are trying to be nice during a really bad breakup, but they're just making it worse.
Oh, man. Yeah, you wrote, it says, Razamo can fix my life. I'm currently going through a phenomenally bad breakup, and I'm grieving pretty hard. I have several close friends who I know are worried about me, and they're trying to cheer me up, but they're saying the exact wrong things and making me feel 1,000 times more crushed. I've mainly been coping and bolting out of town every weekend because I'm just trying to keep my head above water, and I know that I don't have the energy to deal with them being well-meaning morons. What can I say to them to not sound rude, but tell them that they are actually making things worse? So the breakup happened when?
I guess technically August. We never actually broke up. We were together for about 10 years, but it was always like a right person, wrong time kind of thing. And we had like a really silly little miscommunication.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where I'm not going to call you first, you call me first. But somebody told him some things about me that were totally wrong. Like I was not interested and I was moving on for good. So he fell into an arranged marriage.
Excuse me?
What?
It
How
got
do you
married,
fall
end
into
of
an arranged marriage?
He thought he and I were done for good, and there's a lot of background stuff going on, but he, within about 2.5 months, fell into an arranged marriage.
So was he cool with the arranged marriage?
I don't know. He and I were talking up until the night before it happened, like because I found out a week before it happened that this is what he was planning, and I was like, what?
So had you guys in your on and off 10-year relationship talked about maybe getting married?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so let's get to your lousy friends. So what are they?
They're not lousy. They're
You called
great
them
people.
morons.
They really are morons.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Well,
let's
sorry,
get...
no. Well-being morons.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So what are they all saying to you?
They're saying a lot of things like, oh, he really sucks. I'm like, no, he really doesn't suck. He's actually a really great person. Well, maybe he never loved you. No, I know he loved, like, just a lot of whatever the exact worst thing you can say is. They're like, let's all jump on that bandwagon.
Yeah. Right. Like the kind of typical stuff that you try to console a friend with after a bad breakup. Have you tried saying to your friends, like, listen, I know like exactly what you're saying to us without calling them morons, but I know you guys are trying to be nice and trying to be supportive, but what you're actually saying to me is making me feel worse, or it's really upsetting me, or anything along those lines?
I have, and one of them told me that they were actually trying to be very gentle with me because they know how overwhelming this situation is. I know they actually are trying to be gentle, like they're trying to speak to me with like kid gloves on kind of thing, but like I don't know how to say it. It's like they have very specific ideas of what they should say, and they don't get that. No, just give me some breathing space.
I'll tell you, friends have a real moronic way of making your grief all about them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And people do that, and I never understand why people do that. And they do that in the weirdest times. Like you could have somebody who that you love is dying, and a friend will walk up to you and go, "Oh my God, I don't know what I would do if I was in that situation." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's
Shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth, right? But they have a weird way of making it all about them. And then if you say to them, "I don't want to talk about it," and I specifically don't want to talk about it with you, what's going to wind up happening is those friends are going to talk about you behind your back, right? So it's not going to fix anything. I think that telling your friends that things hurt, like if you're going through a breakup, the worst thing you can say to somebody having been in a relationship for 10 years is that, "Oh, don't worry, he probably didn't love you anyway." Like, what the hell is that then? So like what are you saying? Like, I'm the moron? I'm the idiot that I didn't realize that? Like, what are you telling me right now? Like, what are you calling me right now? And I think that in those situations, it has to happen at the moment, right? So if somebody says to you, "Hey, listen, you were together with this guy for 10 years. He went off and did this. Obviously, he doesn't love you." Your reaction at that point should be to look at your friend and go, "That doesn't help."
Yep.
Right? I think that you need to shut it down when it happens. I don't think just agreeing, nodding your head, letting them think they're doing the good job of a friend, and then sort of skipping out of town on weekends because you can't be around them anymore. I don't think that helps anybody, especially you. I think that this stuff is stuff that needs to happen in the moment.
So the problem there is I think everyone's kind of got used to I'm hiding and I'll be out of town. I've been really avoiding everybody, so I'm not really sure how to re-engage with anybody. I think I'm being a little stubborn if I don't want to be the one to call anybody and be like, "Hey, I want to hang out," because I just don't want to.
Okay, well then don't. If you don't want to hang out with your friends, don't hang out with your friends. But
that's right.
don't avoid people that you actually want to spend time with, because you can easily say to them, "Hey, listen, let's go out on Friday." I don't want to. I didn't just say I don't want to talk about this. And it's not that I'm like super hurt or I'm keeping secrets or whatever. But I just want to go out and just be me. And I don't want you to treat this like, oh my God, we got to go show her a good time. Like you just need to be normal. And you haven't been normal for a very long time. And the reason I've been skipping out of town on weekends is because I rely on my friends for that normalcy. And I'm going to be honest with you, when I hang out with you, I feel anything but normal. I don't even feel good about myself.
Yeah.
So let's just go back to being normal.
Just such a weird thing to say during COVID.
It is. I know. But no, I think that you can do this. And if they are really, really great friends, I think that you can be honest with great friends. I've had to have those conversations with friends before where I've been like, yo, I know the reason you're bringing this up is because you see me and I'm acting a little bit different because I'm still hurting and you want to say things to help me get over it. Honestly, this is something I got to do on my own. And if I want to talk, I will call you. If I need a friend, I will call you. Right now, I don't need that.
I have to say, though, one thing that actually has really been helping is your podcast.
Oh, really?
You've been a huge ray of light, and I have to thank you both for that.
Well, Jem, that means everything to us. Thank you. Also, you have a couple of options. Roz delivered some great lines that you could literally say word for word to your moron friends. Again, you called them moron friends, okay? It's not us being mean. Those are your words, exact. But we hope that you get through this, and we hope that you get through this a lot quicker than it has been lately for you.
Thank you, guys. I really, really appreciate it.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life on Kiss.
The old guy in Squid Game, the 77-year-old who's player one, I guess he was talking about how much the show changed his life, and I don't even think he has proper representation. I think his daughter's helping him out with dealing with all the fame.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So he's not like an actor, like a
Well,
Korean
I don't.
actor?
Yeah, I mean, but I don't.
Like a
I just
famous
don't know how
Korean actor or
popular he was. Right? He said this. He goes, "I feel like I'm floating on air. It makes me think. I need to calm down, organize my thoughts, and hold myself back right now. So many people have been contacting me, and because I don't have a manager to help me, it's hard for me to handle the volume of calls and messages I've been receiving. So my daughter has been helping me out."
Oh, wow.
He also revealed that he's already turned down offers to star in TV commercials. He said things have changed quite a bit. Even when I go out to a cafe somewhere like that, I now have to be aware of how I appear to others. It's made me think being famous is tough.
Oh, poor guy. But you know what? In cases like this where somebody just shoots to superstardom, instantly, you would think that people, like industry folk, would be reaching out to be like, hey, do you have somebody representing you?
Yeah.
Already. You know what I mean? Like you hear that happens in Hollywood all the time.
Well, it's interesting because, what? Yeah, money. Well, because guys like Bill Murray, the story with Bill Murray is that Bill Murray is incredibly difficult to get a hold of because Bill Murray doesn't have people. And if you want to get a hold of Bill Murray.
What do you mean he doesn't have people?
Bill Murray doesn't work with like a team of people. And the stories
He's
go,
so famous, though.
the stories go that if you want to get a script to Bill Murray, you have to get it to somebody who knows Bill Murray, who knows Bill Murray's home phone number.
No, he doesn't have a home phone number. He's a fax machine.
A fax machine. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
But doesn't he have an agent?
No, but not for anything like that. Like if you want to get Bill Murray a script, you have to know somebody who knows Bill Murray who's going to see Bill Murray.
Has it always been that way?
No, I don't think it's always been that way. I just think that that's the way he likes it now.
Clock. Like I was supposed to interview him for this show.
Yeah.
And I was waiting. We were all waiting. And they came in and went like, well, Bill has left.
Yeah.
So we can't reach him. So we're done.
Yeah, because he's probably like he'll just yeah.
Well, that's rude though.
Yeah. It is rude. Yeah, I get that. There's some parts of that eccentricity that some stars have where it is incredibly rude. Like when Mariah Carey was 24 hours late for an interview. Where they had to put us in
right?
They had to put us in a hotel. She was
that
that
sounds
late.
like straight up rude. Like
right?
it's part of your job, and
Yes.
you know well in advance. And somebody
100%.
like Mariah Carey, she's got a team of people to help her with her schedule.
Yes,
right.
But
when
I
you
think
have
with
that
Mariah,
team,
maybe she just didn't know.
No. Oh, no. The lights were set up in her living room.
Yeah, she would know.
You know what I mean?
No, but I just think that she wasn't told when to show up.
Oh no, she was told.
Yeah,
she was told.
has multiple people who know the schedule. That's just straight up rude.
Yeah, she was there.
No, I know, but maybe she was told a different time.
No, she was there.
For somebody,
look at Maury. The woman was 24 hours late and you're standing up for her.
How can I
trying to
not?
defend that.
I'd be
No,
pissed.
don't do that.
I'd be pissed.
But when you talk to people who have done a movie recently, like in the past 10, 15 years with Bill Murray, their stories are not about sort of what it was like working with Bill Murray. When you talk to the production company or the director or the writer, their stories about how they actually wound up getting Bill Murray for the movie because it's so difficult to get a
Can I
hold
tell
of
you,
Bill
now
Murray.
knowing all this information,
Yeah.
it kind of makes me like Bill Murray a lot less.
No. I will say this, though. I once
Yo,
followed...
why are you always
No. Let me
defending all
say
these
this.
horrible people?
Bill Murray is actually a nice guy when you talk to him. Like,
I'm sure.
I walked with him up the street once just because I wanted a picture with him, and he was he's a super nice guy.
Okay, you have to understand when people are on their best behavior in those situations more, right? You have to know that. That's like when anybody asks you, like, who's the rudest person you ever interviewed? I'm like, it's tough for me to answer because everybody's on their best behavior around me.
Yeah.
I'm going into a room with cameras. Like, I don't know who's nice, who's not nice. And it's only afterwards that you hear about the people who aren't nice.
Sure, I'll name people who aren't nice, but I'll name the people who are nice.
I'll
And
name,
Bill Murray.
I'll name somebody. Do you know who the one person is that I never say is nice? No matter, like, I will never lie about it. When
Who?
somebody says who's like the meanest person you've ever talked to,
Please don't say Denzel.
or who's the person that like we as the public, as the audience, get totally wrong
Please don't
consistently.
say The Rock. Please don't say The Rock.
No.
Who?
Maury.
I was going to say Carol Channing.
Yeah. Who were you going to say?
Carol Channing.
Carol Channing, and also Maury.
Got him.
Wow.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
All right, here we go.
All right, Mocha, are you ready?
Of course.
Yeah. Screw that up. Do it again for me, but like, don't be so energetic. Just say like something nice, and then I can just.
Hey, Roz, you look nice today.
Stop,
I like your
not that
jacket.
kind of nice.
Oh. okay.
I meant tone wise.
Oh.
Hey, Mocha.
Yeah.
You ready?
Uh-huh.
Let's do the news. The Roz and Mocha Show podcast. News break.
We know that Kim Kardashian bought Kanye out of their house in Hidden Hills for $20 million. But now there's new information coming out that Kim also flipped him $3 million in cash just for the contents of the house. Apparently, the negotiations between them were completely amicable, and the art in the house had a lot to do with where they came up with that $3 million price tag.
This is the house that's like everything in there is minimalist, all white.
Yeah, the
white
one
table, white chairs, white couches, white everything.
So they bought the house in 2014 for $20 million.
Yeah.
And then spent $20 million renovating it.
Yes.
Which is
I remember
an
that on the
incredible
show.
amount of money.
Uh-huh.
Kanye was part of the design team. They brought in this guy, the Scandinavian designer, I believe he was, and then they just turned this McMansion, which is really all it was, into this sort of beautiful, beautiful showpiece. And then Kanye also just listed his one of his Wyoming properties for $11 million. And he bought a $57 million mansion in Malibu, so he's not far from Kim and the kids. Yeah, like a lot.
Wow.
So he bought that place in Wyoming for $14 million. He's selling it for $11 million, so he's taking a bit of a hit on that. But it also came with $300,000 worth of livestock. I didn't know Kanye was
What?
he was a farmer, like I guess a
No.
rancher. Yeah,
Nah, he wasn't doing
or
any
you
of that
pay
stuff.
somebody to do
Yeah,
that.
a bunch of people.
But the property he bought in Wyoming came with $300,000 worth of livestock, though.
Wow.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
didn't know that. I didn't know Kanye was a farmer. Also, Kanye, I should stop calling him Kanye because it is officially Ye now.
Is it really?
Yep. No last name, no middle name, just Ye. He said that this was for personal reasons.
Ye or yay?
Yay? Well,
Yay?
how is it in the Bible? What is it in the Bible?
I think it's yay, isn't it? He calls himself yay.
He definitely called himself Yay.
But in the Bible, it's what?
Oh, you're asking the wrong guy.
No.
Or I guess the right guy.
Yeah,
but
I'm asking the right guy.
Yo, church every day,
Okay,
man.
because I'll tell you. So in a because this is the interesting part. Because in an interview that he did in 2018, Kanye said, "I believe ye is the most commonly used word in the Bible, and in the Bible it means you. So I'm you, I'm us, it's us." What did you put in there, Maury? Him saying it? Yeah. Oh, yeah. So listen to this. I want to hear
I
the way he
believe
says it.
yay is the most
Yay.
commonly used word in the Bible, and in the Bible it means you. So it's I'm you, I'm us. It's us. It went from being Kanye, which means the only one, to just yay, just being a reflection of our good, our bad, our confused, everything. That I'm just more of a reflection of who we are, just as beings.
But when people read the Bible, they don't say yay, they say ye.
I think it depends on the context, right? Like ye have
It
faith or
yeah.
something like that, right?
Yeah.
But know,
But for him, we've all called him
Yeah,
Ye.
let's call him Ye.
Right.
And he calls himself Ye.
Interesting. Well, it's just Ye now then. So there's
no Ye West, no nothing like that. huh?
nothing. No Ye, Donald West, nothing. Maury.
And when we are, I guess, announcing something, we go, hear ye, hear ye.
No, it's hear ye, hear ye.
Well, in terms of Kanye.
Exactly. Hear ye, everybody. Kanye Donald West. I don't know if Donald's his middle name or not. I don't just made that up.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I had this story earlier and just wanted to confirm it, and it's been confirmed by two writers from Variety who were at the premiere of The Eternals last night in Los Angeles.
New Marvel movie.
The new Marvel movie, the Angelina Jolie movie.
Yeah.
Selma Hayek?
Yep.
She's in it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So this,
Kumail Nanjiani.
Kumail Nanjiani.
Nanjiani, that's it. Yeah.
So he got jacked for that movie.
Yeah.
So the story goes, the headline is this, is that joining the MCU, and they tried to keep it a secret for as long as they could, but it all went to hell last night and got out.
Yeah.
Is that Harry Styles has joined the MCU.
Stop it.
And Harry Styles is in the Eternals.
Stop it.
Playing, depending on sort of which, I don't know what name they give him, but it's either Eros or Star Fox. And Eros/Star Fox is the brother of Thanos.
No. Get out of here.
So here is, let me read you the description of Star Fox's powers.
Come on.
Star Fox possesses the psionic ability to stimulate the pleasure centers of the brain of people within 25 feet of himself. This power, which emanates from him at all times, causes other beings to feel good around him. Does that not just sound like Harry Styles playing Harry Styles? By concentrating, he can magnify these emanations, provoking such extreme pleasurable sensations that a person becomes slightly aroused, euphoric, or totally sedated.
What? So he makes you feel some types of ways?
Yes.
That's Thanos' brother.
Yes.
Dog, come on.
Yeah, it gives you the tingles.
Like your brother had the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
make people feel certain types of ways.
Yes. Thanos could snap his fingers and destroy galaxies. Eros drops panties.
Snaps his fingers and your clothes fly off.
Yes. That's what I'm guessing. But anyway, two writers from Variety. I'm telling you, two writers from Variety have written about this. So unless they are completely insane and would also be slightly unethical and a crazy troll job. But yeah, that's the story of the Eternals, is that Harry Styles is Star Fox/Eros. So take that. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll apologize tomorrow. But that's the way it is right now. Okay.
He's like, I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah, that's exactly what he is, right? That's the character. He's a lover, not a fighter.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Novak Djokovic sounds like he's ready to sacrifice his Australian Open title defense for not being vaccinated. So the Grand Slam event was due to start January in Melbourne, and it's unlikely that any unvaccinated athlete will get a visa to come into the country and cross the border. Djokovic has said that he hasn't said, but he's implied that he hasn't been vaccinated. So he said this, things being as they are, I still don't know if I will go to Melbourne. I will not reveal my status, whether I have been vaccinated or not. It is a private matter and an inappropriate inquiry. And then back in April 2020, he said, I'm opposed to vaccinations and I wouldn't want to be forced by someone to take the vaccine in order to travel. So it's looking like he is now, because the ESPN commentator just walked away from ESPN yesterday for not being vaccinated. So she chose to walk away from her job. Yeah. Evander Kane, San Jose Sharks, was suspended 21 games. I've seen guys in hockey almost kill another guy on the ice and not get 21 games. Evander Kane got 21 games for submitting a fake COVID-19 vaccination card.
No.
So he's going to forfeit $1.68 million of his $7 million salary. He said this in a statement: "I would like to apologize to my teammates, the San Jose Sharks organization, and all Sharks fans for violating the NHL COVID protocols. I made a mistake when I sincerely regret and take responsibility for." It's 21 games. That's an incredible suspension.
Yeah, you're just only apologizing because you got caught.
Right? Yeah, I mean, you're going to get caught doing that. That's crazy to me.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So, geez, this is getting, I was going to say petty, but it's not petty. This is wild. The situation with Travis Barker, and who's he married to? Not Caitlyn. Who's he getting engaged to? Kourtney Kardashian.
Yes.
And Travis Barker's, Travis Barker's ex-wife, Shanna Moakler.
Yeah.
So we know that she has accused the Kardashians of breaking up her family because she had said that Travis had an affair with Kim, if you remember. And that was one of the reasons why they had problems and wound up getting divorced. They have 2 kids. So they have Landon and they have their daughter's name is Alabama, Shanna and Travis Barker. And then so after this engagement happened, everybody, reposting pictures, everything else. So the kids got into it. And I guess there was a big celebratory dinner with Travis, Kourtney, everybody else. And
sorry, Travis's kids and Kourtney's kids?
Yeah. So
Okay.
everybody's all there, all celebrating, big extended family, everything else. And so Landon in Alabama, Travis's kids with Shanna, of course they post about it, right?
Yeah.
And then so Landon captained his picture with "So happy for me and my new family," while Alabama wrote "So happy you guys, love you both." And then their mom, Shanna, what people noticed was on her Instagram, after her kids posted sort of congratulations messages to their dad and his new fiance, Kourtney Kardashian, their mom, Shanna, scrubbed her Instagram of any pictures of the 2 of them.
Of the kids?
Of the kids.
Come on. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you feel that... that way about it, that you would go and delete your own children off of Instagram?
Because your children wish them well. Their dad. Yeah.
Well, you need to talk to someone.
I know. There's
help with those feelings.
I know. There's a lot. There's a lot going on there.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Oh, let's talk about Let's Go Brandon. So you'll see this trending. It's been trending for days now. Let's Go Brandon. This all started at a NASCAR race when an NBC reporter was listening to the crowd chant. And the crowd was chanting F Joe Biden. Okay. But the NBC reporter thought that they were encouraging Brandon Brown, who's a NASCAR driver. So the crowd was chanting F Joe Biden, and they interpreted it as "Let's go, Brandon."
As you can hear the chants from the crowd. Let's go, Brandon.
Okay.
Oh, no, you can clearly hear. You can clearly hear that they're saying F Joe Biden.
So now,
come on. It's like, I think she knew that's what they were chanting, but because she knew she was on television, on the spot, she made up something to make the audience feel like, oh, maybe she's right. They're actually screaming out, "Let's go, Brandon."
As you can hear the chants from the crowd. Let's go, Brandon.
Okay. So let's go, Brandon. So now let's go, Brandon. Okay, is now a way. Like if you just chant "Let's go, Brandon," you can say "Let's go, Brandon," but what you're actually saying is "F Joe Biden."
Let's go, Brandon.
And so now people who want to say F Joe Biden are now just yelling "Let's go, Brandon."
Let's go, Brandon.
Everywhere.
Wow.
So much so. And normally conservatives aren't the most creative people when it comes to the arts, right? It's just, they just don't have that thing. However, if you look on
they just go to NASCAR.
Right. If you look on the rap charts on iTunes, you're going to see a song called "Let's Go Brandon"
No, you're not.
yes, you are, by a guy named Loza Alexander, who is actually a MAGA rapper. So he is he's like this may be like the first hardcore conservative MAGA entertainer to go #1 anywhere.
Yeah.
But this is Loza Alexander with "Let's Go Brandon."
Don't nobody want this commie because we not in China. Everybody hated Trump and now they out to catch a body. What they get for treating us like we in Squid Games. Green light mandate like he's insane. These times people waking up to everything. Go Brandon, but we all know what the saying means. Let's go Brandon.
Wow.
Let's go Brandon. What they saying, ho? Let's go Brandon. Let's go Brandon. What they saying, ho? Let's go Brandon.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, the production on that's pretty hot, though.
It's so wild how the world works, man. How something like that, it just takes off. And now, forever, anytime anybody ever says, "Let's go, Brandon," you are only going to hear F. Joe Biden.
Let's go, Brandon.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Halloween Kills still crushing the box office. And the story with Michael Myers on Halloween Kills, and I learned about this like when I was like a little kid when the Halloween movies were out, and I never really believed it until it was just confirmed years later, and that is the Michael Myers mask from Halloween. The original mask, and they've done different versions since that look very similar, but the original mask was a Captain Kirk mask. It was William Shatner's face.
So weird.
That was a Halloween mask that you could, I guess, then buy. William Shatner, fresh from space, was doing an interview yesterday and was asked about his feelings that even after all these years, Michael Myers is still killing people in a Shatner mask.
I don't remember the exact moment, but I thought, is that a joke? Are they kidding? And then I don't think I saw the movie, but I saw the mask probably in a picture. And I recognized it as the death mask that they had made for me. They made a mask of my face on Star Trek with clay so that I wouldn't have to be available for the prosthetics that they would put on my face to look old or evil or whatever it was that they were making me look like. So that mask existed in Star Trek. So somewhere along the line, somebody got that mask and made a mask of it for Halloween, and then the story is, "Get me a mask," said the director. So the guy ran into this Halloween store and grabbed this mask, and it happened to be of me. That's the story I know. How true it is, I don't know.
Wow. That I didn't know. Like, what made them, during the original making of the first Halloween, get that particular mask?
I don't think it was some big story. I think it was go and find something that'll work.
Literally what William Shatner just said.
Yeah, a props person, if you can't find one, make one, but they just happened to find one. And I guess at the time, because the mask was like all loose and floppy and horrific,
it's just what worked.
Right? But those old masks, like if you remember, I don't know, do you remember when you were a kid, those old rubber masks that you would be able to pull on over your head? You can't buy those anymore. Like nobody sells them because after a while, all masks at the time were those rubber masks that you would pull over your head. And then they transitioned into the hard plastic ones with the elastic around your head. You probably remember those.
Yeah.
Right. Do you remember the rubber ones that you pull over your head?
I have a Darth Vader one that's rubber.
Right.
And it stinks.
Yeah.
It stinks. The chemicals that they use to make it are
not healthy for children.
Horrible for you.
Horrible.
And it gets so hot.
Yes.
Not enough ventilation.
Zero one tiny little hole where the mouth is.
Yeah.
Like one tiny little hole.
And maybe a couple of holes for your eyes.
Yeah,
but that's about it.
And you start sweating and everything else. Anyway, but those old rubber masks, there was everywhere. You could walk in any Halloween store and there would be a Spider-Man, a Superman, a whatever, right? And sometimes they had like that fake real hair on the top as opposed to just being painted. Like they actually put like little wigs on it and stuff.
Oh, so
super creepy. But anyway, that's Shatner on that.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Gwyneth Paltrow on with Ellen DeGeneres. We all know. Do you watch that Goop show on Netflix? Does Jenna watch that? Your wife? No. So good, man. It's so good. I love Gwyneth Paltrow and everything Gwyneth Paltrow does, and like the selling the candles, like this smells like my vagina, and just like all of that crazy stuff that Gwyneth Paltrow does. So here she is with Ellen talking about her teenage son's reaction to some of the things that Gwyneth Paltrow sells.
Oh dear. Is this something you're selling? You sell this?
Can you show that on TV?
Like that, and then put it back. Like.
Oh my God.
So you sell this? Are these popular?
Yes. They're
Very
very
popular.
popular. And you know what is so interesting? It's like, why are we embarrassed about pleasure, you know?
Oh, I'm not embarrassed about pleasure, but I'm embarrassed about that. Do you have one of these?
I do.
Really?
I do, yeah.
Huh.
I do.
Interesting.
You know, people go on business trips and stuff.
So Moses doesn't like to see a bra strap. How does he feel about things like this that you're selling? What does he feel about
this?
this?
Can I tell you the sweetest thing? This really happened a few months ago. He said, you know, Mom, out of nowhere, he said, Mom, I was really embarrassed for a minute that Goop sold vibrators. And then I realized, like, no, this is great. You're making people feel not embarrassed to buy something, and that's great. You're a feminist. And I was like, thank you, my dear.
That's so sweet.
So cute.
How old is he?
He's 15.
That's really sweet.
I know. It was really, really nice.
Good for him. Very
I'm
cool.
sure he's still embarrassed, but, you know, at least he's putting a good spin on it.
Yeah.
Oh, yo, that kid is hella embarrassed. Are you kidding me?
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Oh, Kate Beckinsale. The story was that she was hospitalized on set of like some action movie that she was doing not too long ago, and had to like go to the ER, like full like emergency room stuff. She really, really hurt her back, and we all thought that it happened on set, that it was like some stunt gone wrong. But Kate Beckinsale was talking to Corden about what actually happened. Listen to this.
I was in my hotel room putting on a pair of leggings, and then sort of it felt like a kind of a guitar string snapped. And everything was horrific. I mean, worse than having a baby, bad. And I couldn't walk, and I couldn't lie down, I couldn't sit down, I couldn't do anything. So eventually we were trying to figure out how to kind of get out of the hotel room to go to hospital, because I couldn't sit or stand or do anything. So eventually an ambulance came, and they sort of rolled out a sheet and picked me up in it like a sort of a sausage, and then put me on a gurney, and then I went to hospital and was given a lot of drugs, and I don't drink at all.
Yeah.
So I really found out what kind of a drunk I am fast.
Wow.
So did everyone else. And so I'm not a kind of, do you know who I am, have you seen all my films type, which is a huge relief. So I'm really glad I'm not. But I am everybody's trying to steal my ovaries.
Oh, you fell into that sort of vibe.
Yeah, but I'm all right now.
But you're back now, and look at you.
Yeah, look at me.
Look at you, leggings a go-go.
Yeah, I got these on all right.
See, you would not believe the amount of people yesterday that after this story came out was like, this is what they looked at me. This is what you get for wearing tight pants. This is what's going to happen to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And picking you up off the hotel floor.
Like a sausage.
Yeah. And like
But
Kate
yeah.
Beckinsale, she's been in all those underworld movies
Yeah.
where like fast action, like, you
Yeah,
know,
man.
you would think on a film set it would happen, not bending over and putting on
But that's what we
leggings.
all thought, though. We all thought it happened because she was in Vegas, I think it was, shooting. And we all thought, everybody thought that she hurt herself on set. But no, it was leggings.
So you can be a little bit more careful now?
Me? Don't bring me and my tight pants into this. I'm all choked up now.
I know, don't hurt yourself.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Man, lots of fighting today. So Meghan McCain, who just released her book called Bad Republican, and she's now doing a few interviews talking about what the environment was like at The View and how toxic it was and how they begged her to stay for the remaining 2 years of her contract, but she wanted to leave, and that she came back with some really serious postpartum issues after her maternity leave, and that one conversation with Joy when Joy was like, I didn't miss you one bit on the show. So she's based her sort of book and a lot of the book around her time on The View. And now sources tell TMZ that the heads at ABC are furious at Meghan's new memoir and the subsequent interviews that she's been doing, characterizing The View as a toxic work environment full of coworkers, co-hosts who despised her. TMZ is told that ABC execs say the notion that Meghan left on her own because she says she walked away is wrong. And what she's also wrong about, according to the insiders, is that her claim that everybody was oozing toxicity except for her. One source says that Meghan was essentially forced out of her role after an internal investigation into the environment she describes, which we're told was in fact real. So it was very toxic. However, they go on to say, but mostly due to Meghan's behavior on and off off camera, not her coworkers or the other way around. So ABC is now coming back and fighting against Meghan's claims that they created a toxic work environment. Maury.
This is the clip here that she was talking about from The View when she came back from
the Joy clip? Yeah.
I'm talking about
somebody answer. Yeah. You missed me so much when I was on maternity leave. You missed me so much. You missed fighting with me. Don't act like you missed fighting with me.
I did not miss you.
Okay,
somebody answer the question.
Can I weigh in?
Or I'm
You know what? That's
moving
so
on.
nasty.
I'd like to
That's
weigh in.
like so nasty.
Can I weigh in?
Okay, guys,
rude. Like,
hold
really?
on. Stop. Everybody stop.
That's so rude.
The one thing that I love watching people fight on television, right? Like I really do. I like a good tussle, but it's only watchable when you get the sense that regardless of how hard people are going at each other, that there's a level of respect there.
Mm-hmm.
And The View became unwatchable because you got the sense that nobody actually respected the people that they were talking to, and it became very uncomfortable, right? It became very uncomfortable to watch.
It sounds like, or looks like, they genuinely hate each other.
Yeah, it's like when you would have a friend over and your parents would start fighting. Right?
Sure.
That feeling. That's the feeling I got when I was watching The View.
And you lean over to your friend. This doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah. It's just like it's just not good. It's not a good place.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So they put together in a new poll the 100 greatest television shows of the past 20 years. So the 100 greatest television shows since the year 2000.
Okay.
And they polled 200 television specialists from 43 countries. So I guess like writers, reviewers, this kind of thing. So again,
now, are these shows that started after 2000, or could they have had like a run?
No,
like a little
nothing
bit?
that debuted in the 90s. That's
Okay.
that's why The Sopranos isn't on the list. Even though though a lot of The Sopranos happened in the 2000s, there's no Sopranos on the list.
So you won't get any
Right?
of those actual shows that are usually number one, like Seinfeld and stuff.
No, because Seinfeld debuted in the 80s.
Oh, can I
did it
guess?
not?
The Office. Is The Office on there?
Well, yeah. So here's the thing: is that which office are you talking about?
Oh, UK or US?
Oh, the U.S. one.
Well,
Michael Scott.
they're both on there.
Yeah, but the U.S. one's got to be higher.
What do you say, Maury?
I say UK is higher.
You say UK is higher. Maury is in fact correct.
It's Ricky Gervais.
The Gervais.
Isn't that how you say it?
No.
No, it's not. The Office UK is in fact higher. The Office UK came in at number 9. So it was one of 2 comedies to make the top 10.
Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang Theory is not on the list.
What?
Sorry, it is. It's number 56 on the list.
Oh my God.
Yeah, way down there. That show sucks.
The Office, hold on here. Let me find out where The Office US is because that's what Mocha wants to know here. Jeez, I don't even know where The Office US is on this list. It's on there. Hold on.
Don't tell me The Office U.S. is lower than Big Bang Theory, which is at 57.
The Office US is 39.
Oh, yes. Thank God.
Is 39.
Oh, Law and Order.
No. No. Like, we're talking good television shows, Maury, not just the TV shows that you like.
Well, that's the only ones I can say.
I know. Okay, so do you want me to do like the top 10?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so let me fill out a couple other ones here. Shows like RuPaul's Drag Race is at number 67. Battlestar Galactica was at 70. Gilmore Girls is at 73.
Oh, Jersey Shore.
No. Again, I'm going to say the same thing to you, man. Okay, these
feel
are
so
just
much
like
better now.
what people would call the greatest shows of all time, not just the shows that you like.
Okay.
Black Mirror was at 22. Curb Your Enthusiasm at 21. Veep is at 24.
Orange is the New Black.
Girls was at 30. Orange is the New Black is on here somewhere, but I don't know where. It's buried down deep in the list here. Okay, so
Top 10.
6 Feet Under was 13. BoJack Horseman. People love this show. I've never seen this show in my life. Never seen this show. So at number 10, Succession.
Okay.
At number 9, Office UK.
Yep.
Number 8, The Americans.
Never
I know
watched
people
it.
love that show. Never
Okay.
seen that show. At number 7 is The Leftovers. I
don't
know
even
people
know that
love
one.
that show.
Never seen it.
Never seen that show. At number 6 is I May Destroy You. I know people love that show. Never seen that show.
Okay.
At number 5 is Game of Thrones. At number 4 is the only other comedy to make the top 10.
Which is?
Fleabag.
Oh, that show's fantastic.
Oh, okay.
And at number 3 is Breaking Bad. At number 2, want to take a shot at number 2?
Sex Education.
Survivor?
No.
Is it a reality?
No, there's no
No.
reality shows on here.
Sex Education.
No.
No,
Mad
can't be.
Men.
Yeah?
Is that number 2?
Never watched it.
Never seen an episode of Mad
Curb Your
Men.
Enthusiasm.
But I know
said
people
Curb Your
love.
Enthusiasm.
I know people love that show. Okay,
and
so what's number 1?
The Wire.
Oh, good one.
Yeah, and again, never seen The Wire. This top 10 list is full of shows that I've never seen, which rarely happens when you start counting down.
Well, now you got some homework to do.
No.
That's a lot of TV, bro.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Will you be joining Donald Trump's new social media platform?
No.
Okay.
He's not serious, is he?
Trump Media and Technology Group, the TMTG, as it's known. Donald Trump's company announced
What? Teenage Mutant
yesterday.
Ninja Turtles?
Yes, very close.
TMNT?
Yeah, Teenage Mutant Teenage Girls, right?
Oh, God, no.
TMTG?
No.
Teenage Mutant
I am
Teenage
not joining
Girls.
that platform.
No?
No.
Okay, so they announced yesterday the launch of a new social network called Truth Social.
How original.
A beta version will be available to invited guests in November on a nationwide rollout. It is expected that the first quarter of 2022, according to the press release, the company says its mission is to, quote, create a rival to the liberal media consortium and fight back against big tech companies at Silicon Valley.
What's it called? Truth Media? No,
Truth Social.
Truth Social.
They say Trump isn't just launching an app per se, but he's launching a media subscription service, TMTG Plus. Teenage Mutant Teenage Girls Plus.
No, I am definitely not signing up for that.
That, quote, will feature non-woke entertainment programming, news, podcasts, and more. A quick scan of the terms and conditions, because that's really where you find out what these sites are like, right? What
Yeah.
you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. One of the things you're not allowed to do on Truth Social is criticize Truth Social.
Oh,
So
I hate this platform.
So,
it doesn't work on my phone.
quote, users must not disparage, tarnish, or otherwise harm, in our opinion, us or the site. Users are also told that they must not, quote, annoy any of the site's employees, which I guess would include Donald Trump, right? So he'll have the power,
What
I'm
a
guessing,
mess.
to kick you off just because you're annoying.
What a mess. This is not...
Who puts in the terms and conditions that annoying people will lose the privilege of
You know how
being
many-
a part of it?
You know how many trolls are going to sign up for Truth Social?
Oh, it's going to be crazy.
This is going to be a mess.
That'll be the best, like $4 anybody spends in a month, right? But my God, you are not allowed to, quote, annoy any of the site's employees.
No,
like,
that's
that
dumb.
is so subjective. Like, I know when people say you can't post anything offensive, and you're like, yeah, but who determines what's offensive, right? Like, who is, I get that you can have a clause saying you can't post offensive things on sites and whatnot. But my fear is always, well, who's in charge of determining what is and what is not offensive? Because what's offensive to me may be completely different to you. But
According
when
to
you,
this, it might be Donald Trump. Is
but
the
when
one.
you throw in, you're not allowed to be annoying.
Yeah.
That's even more subjective than being
And that's going
offensive.
to make like the trolls want to sign up even more.
I'm telling you, man, he is going to think that this thing is such a massive success
Yeah.
because of the amount of people that are going to sign up for it and subscribe to TMTG. What was it? Donald Trump Media and Technology Group Plus what? That he's going to be inundated, and they're going to tout it as this huge success, and it is going to be entirely populated by trolls.
Yeah.
Entirely populated by trolls to the point of where it won't even be able to exist anymore.
No, it won't last a year. Are you kidding me?
Oh, I don't think it'll last months.
No.
Like as a social platform, and I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know if there's going
Twitter?
to be like a Twitter aspect to it, or you're going to like
Tumblr?
Or, do you remember that? Do you remember that thing that they tried to start? All those rich guys tried to start that platform where it was small television shows, where it was like these bite-sized television shows.
What was it called?
Quibi, right?
yeah,
Remember,
yeah.
like they couldn't even get Quibi off the ground because people
And they
don't
had famous people attached to
exactly.
it.
People don't want that, right? I don't know. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't work. I have no idea.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So I guess there's an Instagram account called Hollywood Star Kids, and they post paparazzi pics of Hollywood stars' kids. And yesterday, Blake Lively left a comment on their feed because they added a picture of her kids. And she wrote this. This is so disturbing. I've personally shared with you that these men stalk and harass my children, and you are still posting. You said you would stop. You personally promised me. This is not casual appreciation. This is you also exploiting very young children. Please delete, please. And then she goes on to say that some parents are okay with this. We are not. And then she urged everybody to unfollow the site. And then she posted on her own story saying, thank you to everyone who unfollowed accounts who exploit children. You make all the difference. Thank you for your integrity. Thank you.
That is scary.
Didn't even know that people still did that. I guess on social they do, but I know that on shows like ET Canada and we'd stopped doing that years ago.
About celebrity kids?
Yeah. Like we just stopped and nothing changed, right? Like you realize that you don't really gain anything by posting a picture of
Who was it?
Of somebody and their kid. Like,
was it Halle Berry? Remember there was that video of Halle Berry,
dropping a kid off at daycare.
And running up on a paparazzi and being like, how dare you?
Yeah, like you just sort of like even I think about it now when we used to post pictures. Like back in the day, there was like I remember very well back in the day when there was a picture of Suri Cruz on the cover of one of the magazines, whether it be People or Us or Inside or one of those magazines, and she was wearing like I guess like little kid heels kind of thing. And there was an uproar over that, and that was a cover of a magazine, and everybody was just talking about it. And you realize that you're just talking about children.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're having all
what
these
do they
like,
know? They don't know anything.
No, you're like interviewing experts and stuff like this, about somebody's kid, and it's just super weird. I didn't think that anybody did that anymore, to be honest with you, but I guess they still do.
What's the account?
on
If you're
social
following
media.
it, go on and follow.
I'm not going to say the account again. I shouldn't have said it in the first place.
If you already know, then go and follow.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
On Ellen today, Khloe Kardashian sits down and spills a little bit of dirt about when the new show is going to air, the new Kardashian show.
Hey, when is you already started shooting your new show, and it's on Hulu, and I hear it's going to be like soon, like we're going to be able to see it like in a few months?
Yeah, I think in a few months, either end of January, early February.
That's fast.
Really fast. So that's the beauty of Hulu. We're streaming and we get to have a much quicker turnaround than previously. And we're really excited. They're here now in the back shooting with us. And we're so happy to be, up and rolling again.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Hey, and happy birthday to Khloe's sister, Kim. 41 years old today.
There you go. And speaking of Kim, Debra Messing was on the Tamron Hall show and walked back her comments. If you remember when they announced Kim Kardashian was hosting Saturday Night Live, Debra Messing tweeted, "Why Kim Kardashian? I mean, I know she's a cultural icon, but SNL has hosts generally who are performers who are there to promote a film, TV show, or album launch. Am I missing something?" So that's what she wrote. She took a lot of heat for it. And then, of course, Kim went on the show and crushed. And believe me, I would have loved to have seen Kim Kardashian fail because I just love seeing people fail. And it would have been great. But I didn't even think that she would fail. I knew Kim Kardashian would crush that show.
And they booked her for the show because they knew eyes would be on that episode.
Of course. I knew she was going to crush it, and she did crush it.
Yeah.
And so this is Debra Messing on with Tamron Hall.
I was not intending to troll her. And, if anybody took it that way, I apologize. That was never my intention. She is this phenomena. I mean, she is a cultural icon. I am someone who grew up with SNL.
Yeah.
I love comedy. And they have had for decades this sort of formula. And I noticed that they changed the formula. And I was like, oh, does she have a new TV show coming out? Does she have a book coming out? Is she in a movie? And she didn't have anything coming out. Actually, her TV show had just wrapped. So I was just confused.
Right.
And I thought, I have been living under a rock. I don't have my finger on the pulse of pop culture. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, has she been doing something on the side that I'm not aware of? Because I've been so focused on activism.
Yeah.
And clearly it was interpreted differently.
She knows. You know what? I guess SNL did have a formula for a lot of years, right? But you know what SNL has now? Terrible ratings, right? And Debra Messing should know from having done sitcoms and television work. Debra Messing has sat in a room and somebody's walked into that room and said, hey, we got a great guest star coming up this week. And she's like, who's that? And it's like some big star that's going to appear on the show. They do that because of ratings, right? It's stunt. You do what you got to do, and that's just all SNL's doing, right?
Yeah.
They did the same thing with Elon Musk when everybody was like, "Why is Elon Musk hosting?" Because they need people to watch the show, and they know that when people freak out over Elon Musk or Kim Kardashian, that it's going to get eyes on the show, and I'm sure it kills a lot of people that Kim Kardashian went on and crushed it.
Oh yeah,
I think it
people
kills
like Debra Messing.
Exactly, and
Who's too busy with her activism, by the way.
Right, that was the best line. I guess I'm just too busy with my activism. To know,
look at you,
know how popular Kim Kardashian is, right?
Liar.
That's the best line ever. I was so busy with my activism that I didn't realize how big Kim Kardashian was.
Yeah.
Like, are you even kidding me right now? Come on.
I got my pulse on the world.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast. And now it's time for Ask Roz and Mocha.
All right, gang, lots of questions to get through with today's Ask Roz and Mocha. We welcome Zofia. How you doing, girl?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for taking the time to join us on the phone. What is your question for the room?
What's one dumb thing that you believed for a long time?
Before we give our answers, Zofia, what's your answer? What's one dumb thing that you believe for a long time?
I'm actually really embarrassed to admit this, but do you remember the Enrique Iglesias song Baila Mole? I actually thought it was about his mole.
Wait, what?
What's the song called?
Are you talking about Bailamos? Bailamos! Yeah.
Yes.
You thought it was By My Mole?
Yep.
Oh my! How old are you though?
I was like early high school, so like
Oh, too
14,
old.
15.
Too old.
Yeah.
So you thought he was
yeah.
like, "By my mole."
Yep.
Let the rhythm of this mole take control. By my mole.
Wow.
So when did you actually discover that it's Bailamos and not
It
By
was
My Mole?
at a high school party, and the whole room laughed, just like that.
Oh, okay. But it wasn't like years, right? You didn't go like years
No,
thinking
it was
this?
like-
Oh, okay.
No, it was like a couple. How long was it out? Maybe like a year it was out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right.
My brother had I think it was a friend or a coworker or something like that, but like somebody, they were like well into their 30s and they were all just sitting around having a conversation. I don't know whether they were talking about movies or evolution or whatever sparked the conversation. But this person said, yeah, just like when the unicorns went extinct.
What?
And then
Wait,
people, they
like
sort
a
of like,
grown adult?
a grown adult. And they sort of like paused and they were like, excuse me. And they were like, yeah, well, it's just like how the unicorns went extinct. And there was a realization in that moment. This person had believed their whole lives that unicorns existed at some point and that they went extinct. And now you have horses.
Oh
my goodness.
Right?
They,
Yeah.
They just lost their horns.
Yes. Yeah. They evolved out of their horns. Right?
Wow.
Yeah. But it was like a grown person this happened to. Yeah.
Do you have anything though, Roz? Like something dumb that you believe for a real long time?
I mean, not like through my adult life. Like we've talked before how, when I was, really young, I got into a big fight with a guy about where women pee.
Like
right?
from where on their body?
Yeah, because I only saw my mom ever sitting, right? And for me, I was like, well, when you sit, it comes out your butt. And I remember arguing with this kid. I was probably like young, right? Like maybe like even Cruz's age, like 4 or 5, 6 maybe, where I was trying to convince him that women poo and pee out of their butt.
Oh my God.
Right? Where like everything just comes out of their butt.
Yeah.
Because I was like, the whole thing in the front was where the baby happened, right?
Yeah.
So all the dirty stuff in the back is where all the dirty stuff happens.
Sure.
Right? I didn't know. And I was convinced for a long time. And
Until
I wouldn't
what
have any
age?
of it. I wouldn't have any of it. No, and then you learn, and when you're like around that same age. But I remember like just looking at my mom because she would leave the door open and I'd see my mom pee or poop. I don't even know what she was doing now. And then I was like, oh, so everything just comes out the butt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't even ask. I just assumed.
Yeah.
Right.
Did somebody have to show
boys
you?
and girls.
Why would you show? Like
What?
I was
Somebody-
5.
Oh no, I didn't know if somebody like later in life had to correct you and be like, no.
I didn't. I just literally just said this isn't something I believed until I was like in my 20s. You figure it out when you're like a little kid when somebody finally sets you straight.
Like a girlfriend had to be
Like
like
a
no.
Oh my
girlfriend.
God, okay.
Oh my God.
So, Debra, do you have an answer for this? What's What's
have
one dumb
three.
thing that you believed for a long time?
I have three. That they shut Niagara Falls off at night. Like, for the longest time, I believed that because my friend told me, and I was like, that makes complete sense.
That they
would
shut
do
it off?
To save water. Like, nobody's there taking pictures, so there's a knob, and they turn off the falls. And then
And it's just like a rock face?
And
Like
there's like
it's
an
just-
hours of operation where, like, come back at 6, we'll turn it back on.
Okay, wow. And how old were you when you stopped believing that?
Oh, no, I was told that at, like, 18, 19 and believed it then. That was an early life thing.
No, but when did you figure out that was not the case?
Like about a year later.
Oh, okay.
When I
okay.
told somebody and they were like, what is
That's
wrong
the worst
with you?
too. That's the worst when somebody lies to you like that, and then you tell somebody else like it's a real thing,
Yeah.
and then it's suddenly you're the idiot.
I believe for the longest time that when people are old, like my Nana, I believe that they were born at that age. Like old people were born old, you know, and they just got like the short straw. Like you're born, you're old. Because I only ever remember Nana being old.
Right.
So I thought that's how she was born.
Okay, what else?
And I believed that islands were just pieces of land floating. I didn't know that there was like anything below holding them in place.
They were just like floating around?
That they were just floating pieces of dirt.
Like a raft?
Yeah.
But wouldn't that mean that the island would like move around?
Like there was an anchor or something holding it down, but there was nothing underneath it. Like you could swim from underneath.
Like Australia was just like it could wind up beside Canada one day. Like their climate could just change like all the time
On a windy day?
Like on a windy on a
Floating
like on a windy day. What like a couple million Cubans immigrate to Newfoundland? Like depending on how far Cuba goes? Yeah. Wow. Damn.
One dumb thing that I believed for a real long time was, and I learned this late in life.
Okay.
I'm talking like when Jen and I first started dating.
Okay.
I learned. I always thought filet mignon was fish because of the word filet. I thought it was like a type of salmon or part of a salmon or something like that.
Filet-O-Fish.
Simply because of the
really?
word filet.
Oh, not knowing that there's filet beef, filet chicken,
Correct.
like all of this stuff, right?
And it was like I don't know, I was going to her mom's place for like a barbecue.
Yeah.
And then she said, she was asking like, I'm going to get some like filet mignon. Do you like that? And I was like, yeah, cool. I like fish or something like that. Right?
Yeah.
And then they're like, what are you talking about? And then I said what I just told you guys.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, like it's beef.
Yeah, it's beef with bacon.
With bacon.
Right?
Which I love.
Yes.
The second part of it is when I found out that's what it was.
Yeah.
I had that before, not knowing that's what it was called.
So you had already had filet mignon.
Yes,
Yeah?
I loved it.
What did you? Jeez, that's the worst. See, that's embarrassing, right?
Yeah.
Like that is, especially when you're that old,
Uh-huh.
right? Do you want filet mignon? Yeah, I like fish. Wow.
So there you go, Sophia. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day, girl.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye. Stephen says here, hey, Roz and Mocha, before we head out on a family road trip or vacation, we always download hours of the podcast and take you guys on the trips with us. That's very nice. Thank you. It's a ritual now. Is there something special that you always do before heading off on a family vacation? Not mundane things like packing.
I pack, like if it's a road trip, I make sure that I have a bag of snacks.
How long does a drive have to be before it's considered a road trip?
Anything over 2 hours.
No. I say anything over 4 is a road trip.
One way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything over 4 hours.
Because I hate driving long distances. So to me, anything over 2 hours, you have to plan ahead for.
But to me, that's not a road trip. That's just a long drive, right? Like to me, a road trip has to be multiple stops.
Yeah.
Right. Otherwise, you're just driving there. Like you're not. The road isn't the part of the trip.
Maybe 6 hours.
Like when Matthew and I
Right?
drove to Cleveland and then Pittsburgh, that's a road trip.
That's a road trip.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're staying overnight.
And we stopped at Cleveland for an hour and then continued on to Pittsburgh.
Right. Like leaving in the morning and sort of driving around, for a couple hours through the country, or you maybe go to like an antique store and then you come back. You've been gone like 4.5 hours, whatever it is. That's not a road trip, right? That's
Yeah.
just a drive.
Talking trip. I like making playlists.
Yeah.
So playlists are always my thing.
Really, huh?
Have a killer
Yeah.
playlist for a road trip.
What do you listen to? Music?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I guess now with a kid, you have to really plan ahead. You have to have his like goldfish bag of goldfish and all that. Like his
Yeah, but you
books
do
and
that when you
stuff.
go to the dentist. Like everything's a road trip when you have a
When I
kid.
have to go to Canadian Tire.
Yeah, everything's a road trip.
It's his knapsack with like Hot Wheels and snacks and this and that.
Yeah, my God.
And I'm
it's-
like, dog, we're going to be there like 30 minutes.
Yeah. No. You got to bring it all. You got to bring everything. For me, in like a road trip, we don't road trip that much.
Yeah.
We're out of town a lot, but we don't road trip that much. But I would say that the thing that I do like about road trips, like when we've gone to Buffalo, and then sort of like different places, Niagara Falls, Buffalo, and then a couple other, parts of Western New York and this kind of thing. Like I like those kinds of road trips. And for me, it's not so much in the car what I need. For me, it's like what's going to make it fun when we get to the other side. And so we'll pack for stuff like that, right? But as far as road trips go, I am never fully comfortable just because I'm not really comfortable in Catherine's car or many cars for that matter. And so I'm never really good like in a car for any sort of extended period
You
of
have
time.
road trip outfits? Like nice sweatpants or something a little looser?
Nice. Looser than sweatpants? What's looser than sweatpants?
Pajama bottoms.
No.
Oh,
no,
God.
No.
Don't
no.
be
You
one
have to
of
have
those.
you have to have your comfortable sort of headrest pillow kind of thing.
Like your neck rest
Like
pillow?
when I
Your
stop for gas at like an en route, right? And I see people get out, right? No joke, right? Okay. I see people get out of the car, right? And they're like, these are grown people getting out of the back seat and they have like pajama bottoms on and stuff like this. And then I look at the car and the car is Ontario plates, right? So I'm not saying that they didn't go somewhere far and are on their way back, but I'm just saying most likely when you see them on the 401, they're coming from like Ottawa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right? Yeah.
You wear pants.
I understand that you left at like 6 a.m. or whatever ungodly hour you left at, but wear pants, right? Especially when you know you're going to stop at an en route, right? Put pants on. Don't
Step
wear.
out
You don't
for a big stretch.
You're grown.
And you need to have one of those big cups of coffee.
Yeah,
like the plastic Yeti.
Yeah, like you're grown.
No,
Wear
for me,
pants.
it's playlists, and also I'm kind of with Maury on snacks, the car snacks.
What's your driving snack? Mine is Twizzlers.
I like Twizzlers. I like chips. Chips
Fuzzy
are the
peach.
best.
Chips in a car, huh? While you're driving?
Chips
Interesting.
are so good.
I need to have something chewy.
And candy, any type of candy. I like. Yeah.
I can't stand driving when I eat or eating when I drive. Rather,
Why?
I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy
I'm
the
not talking like a burger and fries.
Yeah, no, I don't like
Twizzlers.
it. Nope, don't really like it.
Have you tried it?
Yeah, once there was something that Rox had in the car, like I don't know, like these dried edamame salt and pepper things.
Ooh, yeah, those are good. Twizzlers.
Yeah, but no, that wasn't for me. And I
I
love
like
those
when the
things.
sun
No.
hits the Twizzlers and they get a little bit softer, like through the
Man, that is
windshield
very
or whatever.
specific.
I know, it's very like warm
Twizzlers.
warm back of car Twizzlers, huh? Yeah.
Mark says here, how many fans do you think ask certain things just to get a reaction out of Roz versus hear Maury's random AF answers? I would say
quite a few.
Like majority?
Yeah, majority, I would say.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that people know that listen to the show or the podcast. They know what sets me off. And people just troll you, right? I get it in DMs all the time.
Yeah?
Yes. Yeah. Where people just troll. And then I'm like, oh, no, I'm right about to a troll today. And then I'll realize, oh my God, that was literally just a troll job.
Just to get the reaction.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a question for Roz about cooking. Do I have to phone in or can I just ask it?
I guess you can ask it, sure.
No, phone in.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Close that door too.
Close the door because you know there's an echo.
Yeah. Close the door.
Okay. Do you know the number? Yeah. Okay. Sure question. Hi, it's the Roz and Mocha Show. Who's this?
Hi, it's Marcus. I have a question for Roz about cooking.
Maury, you literally just told everybody that you're going in the other room to call.
You don't have to give a fake name.
Oh, okay. Hey, I have a
So used to
question.
lying. So used to lying.
I
I wonder
know,
how many.
big time.
I wonder how many guys on Craigslist ever talked to Marcus before. Quite a
All of
few.
them. They took that portion of Craigslist down.
No. Yeah.
How long ago?
A heartbreak.
Oh, like over a year ago.
Where did everybody migrate to after that?
Oh, there's fake Craigslist.com.
Oh, okay. You shouldn't know that, man.
How many hours a day are you on fake
Shouldn't know
Craigslist.com?
that. You shouldn't know that.
Okay, my question is...
What's your cheating question? What
Yeah.
would you like to know?
it's a cooking question.
Wait, what's your
Yeah.
what's your username on that other
No, you don't need a username on
Look at
Craigslist.
him.
You
He's,
just write
he's scratching the skin off his own arm. He's so uncomfortable in there right now. He's like itching himself, like he just got hives. Even just talking, he just broke out in hives talking about Craigslist.
You literally as
question.
Yeah, you really are. You're such a liar. Okay, what is your cooking
How
question?
often do they update
Oh
that
my
site,
God.
though? Is it
I have
every
no
day?
idea. Here's my. No, I assume no. It's whenever you
I
post
assume.
it. It's like every 5 minutes.
Oh, every.
You hit refresh.
It's always
Okay, my
new, right?
cooking-
It's always new. It's always new. I got you. New content every day. New content daily.
Every 5 minutes,
Fake
apparently.
Craigslist. Yeah.
How many
Okay,
people
my cooking-
are on? Like, can you see how many people are part of that group?
No, because it's like headlines. It's everybody. You write your own headline.
What was the latest headline you read?
Oh no, I have a question. We're running out of time.
Okay.
Like
No,
a
we're
legit
not.
cooking
We have
question.
infinite time. We're on a podcast.
There's no time limit.
What
Why
was
did
the
I
last
call?
headline you remember?
M for M, in town, looking for
M.
M.
You already established that.
Yeah.
Man for man looking for man.
Man for man, looking for man.
So do you
Okay.
go in? Do you go in on those posts and like do you not
M
troll, but like do you answer people like say, hey, welcome to town. If you're looking for a recommendation for a restaurant, or make sure you check out whatever.
Recommendation.
Recommendation. They don't want to know the recommendations for
I'm
restaurants.
asking what your tactic
want
is
that.
to gain the trust of them before you start like really talking to them.
Can I just ask my cooking question for the love of God?
M for M, looking for M.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, go.
Is it true that
We just ran out of time. This has been the Roz and Mocha Show pod.
Stop it.
Okay, go ahead.
Go, hurry.
Is it true that if you're cooking on a pan, like a nonstick pan, that sometimes it's best to not clean it because then it makes the rest of your food taste better the next time?
No.
No.
What kind of pan are you talking about?
Like a nonstick metal pan. I heard that people don't clean their pans because then it adds flavor the next time.
No, they're talking about cast iron pans. You're not using a cast iron pan. You're using like a Tefal non-stick, whatever.
Yeah.
No,
clean that pan.
stuff, man.
Oh,
Do
yeah.
you
Okay.
have not non-stick, sorry. Do you have a cast iron?
No, I want one, but I put the other pan, the nonstick pan, away, and it had like beef oil, like juice in it.
Yeah, but you can keep that, right? Strain it, keep it, strain it.
Oh, I just left it in the bag.
Oh, that's fine.
my
Yeah. But no, the thing with nonstick pans, the reason I don't like nonstick pans is because 90% of nonstick pans, you can't use high heat with them,
Yeah.
right? Because
It gets too hot.
Well, no, because the coating on nonstick can only take a certain temperature, and then it starts to either flake, bubble, ruined, or stuff will start to stick to it, and you'll get areas in the nonstick. Even if you can't see it from looking at it, there will be areas underneath that will forever be affected, and then you'll have these little pockets of your pan that will always.
Is that why most recipes it just says medium high?
It depends on what you're cooking, but you should absolutely not get a cast iron pan because you do not have the discipline for a cast iron pan. Cast iron pans.
Like I would burn myself
no,
or something.
No, cast iron pans are a lot of work, right? Like you have to season a cast iron pan, which means covering it in like lard and putting it upside down in the oven at like 450 for like 3 hours and stuff like this.
See, I don't
right?
do
Oh my
that.
God, no
Any
thanks.
of our cast
Yeah.
irons, I clean it and I will do like just a paper towel with some oil.
Yeah.
And just do that. Like that's the most I
Yeah,
will treat
yeah.
the cast iron.
Yeah, but you're not
after using it.
even. Some people, you're not even supposed to use water according to
I
some
know.
people on a cast iron
I
pan.
know. It's
Right?
crazy.
Like it's a lot of
Wow.
work. It's a lot of work keeping it clean, keeping it sealed, right? Like keeping it seasoned. And then with cast irons, you can just scrape it off and rub it down a little bit, put a little bit of new oil on it, and you're good. And then you build up all that flavor in the pan. That's what people are talking about. They're not talking about like an $18 nonstick Tefal from Canadian Tire. Wash that.
See, this is why I phoned in.
Yes,
This is why I phoned in.
that. Wash that one.
Marcus, thank you very much for your call.
Thanks for having me.
M for M, looking for M.
Great, we're talking about cooking because Ann McPherson Sasu asks, has anyone ever created the Roz and Mocha cookbook? I've started round 2 of listening to the podcast, and I think it would be great if someone has put together recipe number 1, the icon. Oh, if someone has ever put it together, recipe 1 would be the iconic microwave hot dog, which you've talked about many times on the show, Roz.
Hot dog in the microwave for 30 seconds with cheese on it. And when the cheese starts to blister, that means it's done.
That's so gross.
So gross.
I could never
like-
eat
Oh,
anything
excuse me.
where
That is like, sorry.
I could never eat anything where someone says
It
like it blisters.
when it blisters, it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
So gross. gross.
No,
dude.
no. No, I'll tell you why we could never do a Roz and Mocha Show cookbook, because I would never want any of my recipes appearing alongside Dan Mori's.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Facts.
There's no way.
Well, you guys could have the whole book and just shove me in the back.
No, I wouldn't want your stuff in there at all.
That's what she said.
Right? Yeah, no. So, no, it's a no bueno on a cookbook, a show cookbook.
Yeah.
Sorry, I shouldn't say a show cookbook. It's a no bueno on a show cookbook if Dan Mori's included.
Deborah says here, biggest sin to commit in the kitchen.
Well, I just now learned, now that I'm cooking, I'd say a big sin is putting burgers in the oven.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to do that.
But that's what I used to do until I realized that cooking them on the top part.
The top part?
Ceiling?
The stove? The cupboard?
The roof?
When you cook it in the top, like the juices, and it just tastes so much better than putting it in the inside.
Wow. Yeah, okay,
This is why we can't have a cookbook.
No, you're right. I would say biggest sin while cooking. Man, there's so many people who don't season enough.
Mm-hmm.
People who season too much.
That's my answer is going to be seasoning way too much.
Yeah.
Over seasoning and not seasoning as you go.
Right. I don't necessarily. It's interesting. It's interesting that you say that. I usually don't season as I go.
No?
No.
Like you don't like season a little bit.
Sometimes
let it
you
do
have
its
to.
thing, taste
No.
it. Nah, it needs a little bit more.
No. I usually like, for instance, if I'm making a soup.
Yeah.
Right. So the way that I will make a soup is I'll take whatever the girls wanted. So if they want carrots and onion and what else do you put in a soup? Carrots, onion, and like let's say
they don't put celery, do they? Do they
no,
like celery in a soup?
neither of them like celery in a soup.
Thank God.
But there's
I
something
hate
else.
celery.
So what I'll do is I'll take a little oil and butter, right? Little, I mean a lot, and I'll put it in a pot, and then I take the carrot and the onion and a ton of thyme and everything else, and I put that in there, and I mix all that together in the oil and the butter, and I cook that, and then I load that son of a bitch up with as much salt as I can and pepper.
Really?
Okay, and I build this giant flavor. So all the stuff from the onion and the carrot and everything else is all as they start to sweat, all that seasoning is in there, and then I pour in a little tiny bit of chicken stock. And then I reduce that down to almost nothing. And then I put in a little more chicken stock and I reduce that. So basically, I build my entire flavor for that soup before I've actually started adding anything else for the soup.
Oh, but then
right?
it gives it time to all blend.
No, but what I'm saying
Right?
is that all I do after my initial seasoning is just add stock, reduce it away, add stock, reduce it away, and then I just add more stock. So I don't season after that. Like I will rarely put in more salt or pepper or anything after that initial sort of flavor bomb at the beginning, and then afterwards is when I'll put in the cooked chicken and the noodles. And also the thing that I realized is that when you're doing a chicken soup, I used to just take noodles, and I don't know why the hell I did this. I used to just take whatever noodles you wanted, and when your chicken soup is cooking, I would just put the noodles right in there and just let them cook in the chicken soup, where I don't do that anymore. I cook the noodles separately because there's so much starch in noodles that it sucks up all your liquid. It sucks up all your broth, and then you just wind up with a big pot of noodles. So I cook them separately, drain them, which I rarely do with noodles, let them sit, let them puff up, and then throw them in the soup.
Have you ever made a really good matzo ball soup?
I don't even know. I've never made a really good matzo ball.
Are you sure?
Am I sure?
Like if he remembers, like you think maybe he made
Like
one,
I accidentally made matzo ball one day?
and it was so good he forgot.
Like, yeah.
I feel like you're the type of person that would enjoy making a good matzo ball soup. Like you could put 2 matzo balls in with your chicken soup.
This is Maury's way of trying to get you to make it so that you can bring it in for him.
No, I want to make it and bring it in for you.
What is matzah anyway? I don't know what that is.
Well, matzah is the Jewish crackers, right?
Right.
Because the Israelites didn't have time to let
I
their
didn't need
bread
the whole story.
Just what is it?
Okay,
Dan?
what is it?
So then matzo balls are just the mushed down or like the shredded matzah.
So it's shredded, and then is it wet? Like, how do they make
You
the
wet
ball?
it, right? So you would add the water to the matzah meal, is what they call it.
Okay, yeah.
And then you would add salt and carrots and all that
And then
stuff
does it
and
sit
seasoning.
cold, or does it
No,
like
hot,
do you?
hot.
No, but like to keep that form, how do you cook it in that form?
First, you put it into the fridge for a while, and then you form them into balls
So you
and
do,
drop them in the liquid.
okay. So you're cold, right? And then you go. Do they cook on their own, or they cook in the stew? In the soup.
In the soup. But the thing, they grow like 10 times, right? So if you have to make the ball, you have to make tiny balls to get big balls. Okay.
And you cook that on top?
You cook it on the top part.
Yeah. Okay. yeah. I know. I've never. I don't even know if I've ever had matzah.
This
It sounds bland to me, though. The way you
it's
describe
full
it.
of flavor.
Full of flavor. What kind of flavor, though?
There's some seasoning in there.
Okay, but that's what makes the flavor. Pepper, crackers and pepper. Look at Maury. Have you ever made cracker and pepper soup before? You have no idea. And then you're like, no, man, that sounds boring. And then you're like, but my people. Right?
Like they give the people in jail, man.
Yes. Don't get me wrong. I'm
Crackers and
sure that
pepper.
there's people out there listening to this right now that have made a killer matzo ball soup.
And you ruined and you probably destroyed the recipe.
Thank
the how-to.
Thank you. Have you ever made wet cracker pepper soup before? Like mushed?
It's delicious.
It's delicious.
It's the food of my people. Yo, every week on Instagram, at Kiss925, we'll post a picture that simply reads Ask Roz and Mocha. This is where we get your questions from. So keep them coming in. Thank you very much for listening. This has been the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Catch the guys live
Weekday mornings from 6 to 10
on Kiss 92.5.
Kiss925.com.
Or download the Kiss 92.5 app.